And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by
Mock.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
And Jim Mark.
It's working. It's day one, everybody. It's day one.
Soul's never introduced himself. We're just sitting there staring at him.
He did before me.
Oh, I didn't hear him.
The Red Baron.
Yeah. There's going to be some rough patches.
Growing pains.
Yeah.
Just saying. I did say my name.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Red Baron's on a board 6 times the size of what he's used to working on. He's going to be very silent this show. I can tell how concentrated he's going to be.
I'm having no audio in my headphones that I'm hearing.
Yeah, you are. You just can't hear it.
Can you hear it now?
No.
Well, welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk live. It's, rough start, but it's day one.
We're a second half team. I've said it on shows before.
It's a work in progress. We're up from our 1 hour format now to 2 hours live. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You're gonna see more Donald Trump impersonations by our man Solzy, and all kinds of fun stuff.
That's right.
That's right. So while we're going around and figuring out the technical difficulties here, let's start with our starting lineups. Souls?
Well, to lead it all off, I have Modelo's. Nothing about it. Never had it. About to have a good time.
J-Mark?
Well, I have from Dublin a nice Guinness.
Perfect
back
for the
to my
month.
roots.
It's a classic J-Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
I have from the New England Brewing Company here in Connecticut a Sea Hag IPA.
From
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to jump the gun there.
well, go ahead, clearly.
Whoa. I have the Woot Stout from Stone Brewing. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is
Look
that
at
what it
the
says on
bottle.
Well, I've been wrong before. I've read some stuff that turns out not to be true.
I've been flirting with the idea of drinking this beer. I figured our first live show was a good celebration for it. So, from Chicago in the Bourbon County series, I got the Bourbon County brand Northwood Stout, brewed with blueberries and marzipan.
There you go.
I'm very excited. Our toast of excellence. We're not going around the horn this time. It's all inclusive for everybody. A toast of excellence to Getting Sports with Drunk's first live show.
Yeah.
What a good sound.
Our babies are all grown up now.
I know.
We don't have a beer for Peter.
I'm good. I gotta go to school and
I got a
graduate.
six-pack right here.
You want a Modelo?
You have Modelo.
I gotta graduate from Yale today, so I can't.
I've never done this before. I feel like just an asshole pouring this into a glass.
That's fine.
I can't drink it out of a bottle. It's sacrilege to do.
Can you turn 5 up a little?
5 up low?
Just don't go past the mark. Yeah, because it's different down here.
Yeah. Jeff, you've heard Bob on before. We have to get you to meet him. He's so great on PPRN. It's just beautiful. So we'll do we each have our own little shot here in our excellence. This is a toast to us again. We got to get drunk on the first show.
That's right.
We have a designated driver with
we'll
us.
get
Rebecca's
to the sports.
here.
Well, some of us can get drunk today.
Kyle, you can get drunk. What's funnier than a drunk guy serving Burger King?
Just work the drive-thru.
Okay.
There you go.
Gentlemen,
Salute. You can hear that.
I love it.
That's so terrible. Cough medicine every time.
Mr. Boston's finest.
Oh.
And then shot trivia. We're a lot of drinking right off the bat. So we don't have our normal private stock with us today. So I picked up the grossest thing I could find, which is Jose Cuervo Cinnamon Tequila.
The Singe.
The Singe. Which actually, J-Mart, the Red Baron, and I have had this before. Remember, we had this, it was a GTA night.
Yeah.
Mock and I have not.
Yeah, our buddy Pat got 12-pack of Bud Light Platinum, drank one.
Shout out, Pat.
Shout out, yep. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a whirl. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind
I was
it.
gonna say, do you remember it any differently?
No. Oh, this one's got some floaties in it too. Yeah,
hot.
there's salmon in there.
Wow.
All right, so shot trivia. The first question, I figured we lead it off with a bang, somebody really important. So, over the course of his career, how many receptions did wide receiver Austin Collie have?
Oh my God.
311.
All right.
328.
All with Peyton Manning.
No, he played with Brady
Going
once.
440.
440?
141.
Went the low ball route.
All right, and the loser is J-Mart.
All right.
He had 179 receptions over 5 years.
Wow.
He had a concussion every year he played.
Yeah. He was
I give
only
him
good
way
with
too
Peyton
much
Manning.
credit.
I thought he was going to be way better with New England. He's a short white guy.
Yeah, it's true.
That's how they make their living. You seen the memes going around about the white wide receiver
Yeah.
that didn't have that great of a combine day, but it was okay. But it's like Bill Belichick's like heavy breathing.
Just staring at him.
Did you say white?
White.
Now I need my safe place. A Tide Pod. What do you mean white? Can't even just be a player?
No.
Not in the
Jesus.
NFL.
You need Jesus.
This is our church right here.
The Church of Radio. The show today is going to be kind of just all over the place. Kind of a meet and greet, get to know you. Not really. We don't care. But
Hello, my name is.
yeah, right. But we know we have some carryover listeners from our pre-recorded shows because they were airing Sundays, but live listeners always
we
people.
hope we do anyway.
Yeah,
Not yet,
people.
it's not 1 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. People always tuning in, so it's exciting. We're all about being drunk and talking about sports, arguing. Kyle,
Yo,
Kyle
don't
and
come
Jeff.
at me.
I can't wait. 2 hours of you and Jeff going at it. It's gonna be fantastic.
We had to put the table
That'll
between
be
them.
good.
We had to spice up the conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
Bryce
Soon,
Harper.
we'll have a video up soon,
Yeah.
Whatever.
hopefully.
So I figured,
Second hour.
Yeah,
Second hour.
for this show, we're just kind of, we'll go around. We'll do some hot topics of debate, talking, just anything from the minds of the Getting Sports with Drunk assholes. And then the second hour, we'll have something else coming for you. But the first thing I want to talk about is James Harden killing somebody on the court.
Yeah.
Wesley
And he just
Johnson.
stared at him.
Have you guys seen all the memes that have been
Oh,
surfacing
yeah.
around about it? The best one is I showed the Red Baron one yesterday about they did a Mortal Kombat themed one, and it was just like he's on the ground and James Harden staring at him. He's like, finish him, and it just lights up the three, and the whole place catches on fire.
I saw one. He was laying. It was Wesley Johnson laying in bed having night terrors with like the little dream cloud of
Well,
James
'cause it
Harden
was-
smiling.
Well, it's funny too because James Harden put out the tweet at the beginning of the season saying, "Wesley Johnson, it's an 82 game season. You ready?" And then that happened. Did you see the interview though with James Harden about that? Because they asked him why you stared him down. Did you guys see that?
I
No.
didn't
Oh,
see it.
he was like, James, why'd you stare him down? And he essentially said, not word for word, but essentially just said, I was trying to figure out why he was on the ground, and then I just shot it.
What are you doing down there?
Well, it's all right because Wesley Johnson won Shaq in the Fool this week.
Did he?
Yeah,
Yes,
he
he did.
probably won it for the year. Let's be real.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know. JaVale McGee is still around.
Yeah, but he's actually playing good.
It's still JaVale McGee.
I don't care.
Yeah,
He'll make it on there like 4 more
He hit
times.
a
before the year.
fadeaway.
yeah. Oh, the who did it? What was it? Jon Stewart?
Yeah, Jon Stewart
His
was in
JaVale
Disney.
McGee put his profile picture of Jon Stewart making that face. The other NBA thing is, let's talk about the liability of Zaza Pachulia at center. We've known how terrible he is offensively and defensively, but now he's causing his own teammates, all-star teammates, to roll their ankles mid-game.
Yeah.
Is it time for the world to move on from Zaza?
I think it was a long time ago that we don't need Zaza. He just sucks.
It's got a cool name.
Zaza
Living on
Pachulia. He's an asshole too.
Yeah.
He's a huge dick.
He's one of the most hated players in the NBA.
Yeah.
So is he dirty or just that clumsy?
He's just an asshole.
Well, didn't he get in trouble for this last year too?
Yeah, he undercut
Yeah.
Leonard.
Yeah.
in the,
The whole team. I mean, Draymond Green has kicked Steven Adams in the balls twice. Twice.
guy's got balls of steel though. He gets up every time, just
Yeah.
laughing.
Well, he's like one of like 18 brothers and sisters, and he's the youngest.
Yeah, he's been frapped a lot of times growing up.
Nothing to do there. Can we talk about his transformation? You remember when he first came in the league?
Yeah.
No beard.
Nice,
Just
short,
short
cut hair.
You know what's funny though? I was thinking of this. What's that guy's name? that was on the cover of like the NCAA one with the long hair and the mustache that came out of college?
Adam Morrison.
Yeah,
Bust.
I bet you people who like watched the NBA for a while and then kind of like steered away from it because like they were tired of like LeBron and all that.
Thought it was
They were
him.
like, they're probably like, oh, that's the guy that came out of college. He was on the cover of the NCAA game. Would you believe that?
No.
If you didn't watch basketball for a little
You
while.
can't ask Kyle because Kyle knows every player who's ever existed.
No, but let's say you don't watch basketball.
I mean,
Kyle.
I can understand where it would come from.
I
But
That's
that'd be
all we
like-
needed to hear.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I actually, until you said it, I thought it was the same person. Yes.
You'd have to add like 50 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, but you're talking about
Just 50?
It's the long hair and the mustache.
an X amount of time that's gone by now.
Yeah.
You know,
They don't even look
Kyle,
alike.
we don't spend our whole lives on our phone looking at sports things like you.
Well,
for
if I'm on the show.
the listeners.
Yeah, and you're wrong more often than not.
Listen, he should have been a Lion. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, he beat me to it.
Just like Bagwell was a Red Sox.
He was a Red Sox.
Nope.
We'll be hanging out and we're playing NBA 2K, whatever. And then Kyle will take it upon himself like, oh, let's see where this guy went to college.
Yeah, Kyle will stop. We'll finish a game, and Kyle will sit there like, just pick a team. So we'll pick a team, and he'll sit there, and the guy will just be like, Wichita State, Ohio, don't know. Oh, actually, I did know that.
He's all
Duke.
coy about it.
Buckley, he went to high school, Germany, my bed.
You know, actually, we were playing 2K last night, and I was talking about some random guy. He's like, oh, yeah, he's from Serbia. He was right. I was pissed.
Yeah, bro.
Kyle, where's Serbia?
I can't even pronounce the name of the guy that I was referencing, and he still knew it.
Isn't that outside of Cheshire somewhere?
It's like in between Prospect and Chester, somewhere in that area.
Beacon Falls, they used to call it.
Not to sidetrack from the sports, but I just took my first sip.
Beer review coming later.
Oh, this is going to be quite decadent.
Anybody see the levelness of nervousness coming from Kendall?
Oh, God, he's
Listen,
he's
I just-
radiating
He's
it.
staring at me like we just got engaged.
I just want to do a
He
good
didn't want to
job.
say yes, but he had to.
One of those fixed weddings.
We were at the bar. and didn't want my friends to be upset. So he let us
We're
know.
like center court.
We have to talk later.
It's a dual thing because Jeff has a huge erection right now. Because anytime Jeff watches hockey, all he wants is the fights, and it's kind of warm in here, so I'm rolling up the sleeves like they do before a fight.
Yes.
And Jeff's just getting a huge boner over here. I hear it thudding against the bottom of the table.
Whoops.
So
Speaking of hockey, though, what's going on
with what?
with Chicago, man?
Just in general.
So we're just gonna start singling out people's teams.
I'm sorry. I just, when I signed up to
Yeah,
be
how
a
about them
Blackhawks
Knicks,
fan,
bro?
I signed
when
up
I signed up to be a Blackhawks
last year
fan,
when I signed up to be a
I
Blackhawks
thought
fan.
we were gonna win championship. I already have a bunch of shit teams I like. I was really banking on a couple Stanley Cups.
So here's the thing. This is my opinion. I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews about it from talking with fans. They are not as much of a believer as I am about this, but the defense needs to change. Seabrook is getting slower, and Keith is almost irrelevant at this point. And they need to change up the defense. They need to get youth. They keep those guys. I mean, they're eating big contracts, but they're still big play guys. They can teach a lot of things. 3 Stanley Cup championships. One of them is a Finals MVP. Multiple, individual awards throughout the seasons. They can teach the young guys, and they still are serviceable. But Duncan Keith isn't the kind of guy who's going to eat 25 minutes of ice time anymore. He's not. He's slow. He's not offensively minded. He can't contribute offensively. He gets a lot of assists, but you'd get a lot of assists, too, if you were passing to Patrick Kane. I mean, the guy can pretty much thread a needle blindfolded from 100 yards away.
Assists are everything
No.
in all sports.
It's actually funny you say that. I saw this thing the other day, and it was talking about, it was one of those things like, oh, your birth month is whatever, and then the day.
Yeah.
So it was your birth month is the statistical category that you lead your team in, and then the day is the team, and it was for hockey. And so you were a Bruin, and you led in assists.
Bingo.
Yep.
It's pretty spot on.
Kendall was a Flame, and he
Yep.
he led in what was it called?
No, I thought I was a Bruin.
Can
Oh yeah,
Few
you were the
minutes?
Flame. That's right. He was
Aw.
Kendall was the Bruin, and he led in what was it called? Bending. Kendall's a Bruin. Yeah. Kendall was a Bruin, and he led in bending, which for those of you who don't know what that is, that basically means you're a professional hockey player who skates like an asshole. It doesn't look like you know how to skate at all. You're falling over all the time. You're tripping over your own feet.
Sounds about right.
That'd be me on skate. That's me. That's me walking.
Kendall on the dance floor.
Jeff
I can't get out there. They gotta tie me down.
Jeff and Kyle, same month. This is their birth month. We have some great shots coming. Got disgusting shots, birthday shots for them. But they led in penalty minutes.
That's right.
Yep.
What
Also,
team, though?
Kyle, you were a
how
Canuck.
dare you?
Kyle was a
The
Canuck,
Knicks comment.
and Jeff was actually a Predator.
Ooh.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
You better be safe around Jeff.
Jeff was
Hide your wife. Hide
Jeff
your
was
kids.
Jeff was part of the AHL affiliates of the Nashville Predators, the sexual Predators. But Corey Crawford's injured. He's out for the season. That's a huge blow. I mean, you can't play with a backup all season long. It's very rare that a backup can hold the weight of a team for a whole season. The defense isn't there. I mean, I'm not really that upset. I mean, of course, I want to see my team make the playoffs and win the Stanley Cup. But if winning 3 Stanley Cups in 7 years means having one losing season every once in a while, I'll take it. They're going to get a good draft pick.
I'm pretty upset because I didn't sign up for another losing team.
You know, he put on the jersey once, and then he took off the
And
jersey.
it was for a picture to send to Shane, too.
And the jersey sat on the railing of his apartment, your guys' apartment, for 10 months.
Yeah, months, a long time. Someone put something over it, and I thought I lost the jersey.
If I'd known, I'd be a Golden Knights fan already.
Until the guy...
It's not too late.
When you guys moved out, that's when the jersey finally left.
It's still there.
Left the jersey there?
No.
I think I'm wearing it.
No, it was the,
Oh, it was the black one?
one.
Actually, it might still be there. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'd much rather be the Blackhawks position than the Islanders position. I mean, I couldn't imagine being a fan of the Islanders. You have a team that's putting up literally record amounts of offense, but they're giving up just as much on defense. Like it'd be like being in the NFL. Like, our offense can score 60 points a game, and we only give up 62 points a game on defense. It's terrible.
Sounds like New Orleans for years.
Yeah,
In the football world.
yeah. Speaking of the football world, how many more years do you guys think Fitzgerald's got left? Do you think this is it?
I thought last year was going to be it, but he's coming back.
You know
He
that
just continues to produce.
Yeah.
there's a Huey Lewis in the news song called "This Is It." I don't know if that's the name of the song, but that's one of the lines in the chorus, and this is it.
Rebecca, could you hand that to Kendall, because that was terrible.
Well, I had to start off. This is the first
Well,
private
I
stock,
hope-
and then
I hope Kirk goes there to give him a chance.
Kirk's going to Minnesota.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
That's what it looks like.
Which I think is horrible that the Vikings just threw Case Keenum to the side.
I don't. They're smart. That is the smartest thing that the Vikings have done in years. Case Keenum is a proven backup quarterback that had one good year with a really, really good receiving core, and to start off the season with a really great running back and a fucking stellar defense.
And a lucky ass play.
It's absolute horseshit. Case Keenum is a backup. They did the right thing. Make some other team go out and spend the money that he quote-unquote earned this past season, and make sure that he can do it twice.
Can I tell you-
well, go ahead.
Don't
What
even.
is funny? No.
Don't
What is
even.
funny? I saw a thing with Mike Zimmer the other day when he pretty much said the same thing. He was like, "Is Case Keenum who he was on the Rams or with us? We don't know."
Exactly. Let somebody else pay the money and figure out if it's a fluke or if it's real. If it's real, good for Case Keenum, good for that organization. Because if they land Kirk Cousins, who gives a shit? Kirk Cousins is going to actually have receivers he can throw to.
But I mean, what a situation to be in. Think about it. Right
And a
now,
healthy running back.
you have 3, valid starting quarterbacks, and then hey, we could bring in a 4th. Like, some teams are starving. The Browns, they wish they could be in that situation.
The Browns will probably sign Case Keenum, and he'll suck.
That's that CFL team, right?
Yeah,
The Browns. Okay.
So now if Cousins goes to Minnesota, where does Keenum end up?
Arizona,
Kyle says the Browns.
Arizona,
Cowboys.
Cleveland.
You think he's
They
going to Cleveland?
got Dak.
Cowboys.
I think Dak's there for the long haul.
Cowboys.
I think they keep him and Zeke together.
I think Denver to me is going to sign one of these big free
They
agent
have to. You're
quarterbacks.
going to waste Sanders and Demaryius Thomas.
Well, there talks
Two
about
players.
trading Sanders.
Yeah, I think Sanders is gone by the start of the season.
To me, that'll depend if they can bring someone in. If they were to bring in, say, Kirk Cousins,
But I think Kirk Cousins is the only viable option. I don't think any team in the NFL is looking at Case Keenum as this is the missing piece.
Or Teddy Bridgewater.
Nobody in the NFL is looking at Teddy Bridgewater like this is somebody we have to have.
he could have been. I mean, he looked great. He just got hurt.
I've said it
I think
before.
I think
He's
he would have
going
been
to
a fluke
the Saints
too.
after Breeze retires. He's going to be another guy that just comes out of injury.
Well, I think Bridgewater would have been a fluke too. I think he was able to, because when Bridgewater was doing it, like Diggs and Thielen weren't like what they are right now, and so he was making a lot of plays happen, kind of like what Russell Wilson's doing, but not as good as Russell Wilson does it. And so I think Bridgewater, all it would have taken was some time to kind of figure him out, because at the time too the running game was crap. I think Bridgewater would have been a fluke anyway. Minnesota is doomed for quarterbacks.
Another question for you: does Bradford come back?
No.
Yeah,
I don't think
I think
so.
so.
He sucks.
I think it's one of the things. I think Bradford will shop the market, and I think Bradford is kind of realizing what he is now, and Bradford will shop himself as a serviceable backup quarterback.
I could see him going somewhere like Buffalo and maybe competing for a starting role.
Tearing his
if they
ACL in the preseason.
Well, there's talks about
Every
him.
year, man.
There's talks about the Rams cutting their backup quarterback and then signing Bradford for less money than they would be paying their backup, and it's a smart move in my opinion because Bradford knows the playbook.
Yeah.
Bradford knows the system. He knows the playbook, and that team
stayed healthy, too, so
that's
they
what
need a
made
guy
Philadelphia
on
what they were. Philadelphia. I've argued it forever. Backup quarterbacks are not something that should just be overlooked. It's not. You don't want just somebody that can just go out there like Landry Jones. He might not be that great of a quarterback, but Landry Jones will do a lot better if he had to play 4 games for the Steelers than anybody they could go out and sign because Landry Jones knows the team and the system,
And they have Antonio.
which helps.
I mean, what a great situation was in Philadelphia.
That's what I'm saying. Nick,
Oh, yeah.
If they had anybody else at backup quarterback, I don't think they win the Super Bowl. Nick Foles knows the team. He knows the playbook. He knows the home field. He knows what to do. He knows how to play. When the wind is coming in, he knows how to throw the ball into that wind. It's a different tailwind or headwind than if you're playing in Chicago or if you're playing in Denver or something like that. It doesn't. They're different.
Another thing is Nick Foles. If the Eagles were smart, they would sell him high right now.
Oh, they're definitely going to trade him.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
I would be more willing if I was a franchise. I would be more apt to sign Nick Foles than Case Keenum.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
I agree with you.
You guys got some really hardcore listeners. You got a guy who still has an Apple iPhone 5
Wow. Well,
listening to you guys.
you know what's
Shout
funny
out to the guy with the
is the Red Baron and I when we
Mother?
were
Hey, so shout out to Dave Sanderson. Is that right?
How's it still running?
the Red
Coal powered, dude.
iOS 9.
the Red Baron and I when we were at Radio Club at Eastern at WECS over there, one of our friends Rico Bergman, he had an iPhone 3 all the way up until graduation.
God.
That's an iPad.
It's a nano, right?
We would be in Radio Club and he would go to look something up and it would take almost a duration of an hour for him to Google something.
Does it even have updates for 5s?
No, it wouldn't. The 3 wouldn't
didn't
update.
even
He's
come
like,
with Safari, I don't
it doesn't update anymore. The screen was brown. Like if you put that sepia filter on your phone, that's just what it was.
He still has a print shop on his Thank you for listening, Apple iPhone 5. We love you.
We gotta get you a Twitter handle.
Can't afford a phone.
So, Souls,
So,
let me ask you, what's the biggest news in baseball right now? What's the top story?
Oh, the Phillies and
Russell Wilson.
no. He sucks.
Do you want him on the Phillies, Kyle?
No.
Yeah, you do.
Not really. Right now, it's probably the signing of J.D. Martinez.
Ooh, bigger news than that.
What?
Come on. Tim Tebow working his way up the ranks little by little.
The JD Martinez thing for me, like the Stanton news was it was big news. Like the JD Martinez, when things like that happen the way that it did, I don't care because it's oh, the Red Sox signed JD Martinez. Good, they've only been arguing for a month.
Well,
It's just I was like,
They're
oh,
in a tricky spot with him lineup-wise, too, because, I would say he's going to DH.
That's what they're going to do.
But then what are you going to do with the Hanley? Why would you bring back Mitch Moreland?
Because Mitch Moreland's going to play first. Hanley's going to be like
That's
a
what I mean.
fill-in.
Or
It-
they'll,
it's- it
or they'll
creates a
platoon
logjam.
Hanley versus lefties and Moreland versus righties.
It's a weird situation.
Or they can put Martinez out in the outfield if they want to trade one of the kids for a
But
pitcher.
they have Betts, Bradley, and Benintendi.
Yeah, if they want to trade Bradley
I don't
for a
think
pitcher, which could easily happen.
he doesn't have that much stock. He's just a good fielder. Had a decent bat last year.
See, my thing,
They need
and this has
bullpen.
forever irritated me with the Red Sox, and it's mostly to do with their fans. They yell at the Yankees for going out and spending big money. JD Martinez wanted $200 million
Yeah.
for I think it was 10 years. The Red Sox were like, "Oh, we're not going to give you that much money. How about 5 years for $110 million?" It's the same thing. The Red Sox spend just as much money. Their players just don't pan out.
Where's all this ridiculous kind of... I'm sorry for jumping in, guys. But where's all this ridiculous kind of money coming from? Who's going to these games?
it's the Red Sox and the Yankees. People,
But you look at the stands, and that's ridiculous. $100 million, dude, can take care of a fucking stadium for 10 years.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
So you got one... What about that kid that's played baseball, lost his parents because that's all he did was play baseball, and lost all his friends, and he played baseball, and he's making $80,000, and he could probably play better, but this guy just got a break, and he's getting $100 million. and then you're going to the baseball game with your kid paying $15 for a hot dog that you can't even put ketchup on because they won't let you. And it's like, really? Do you really need $100 million to play baseball?
Well, it's not even baseball. It's all sports.
That's what I'm saying. All sports.
And that's why, in my opinion, in terms of money talk, the greatest player for contract purposes in modern sports is Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade consistently argues against these big contracts. He put out a tweet the other day. So this season,
as he's making,
he's 30. Well, I mean, no, what's he making? I mean, I don't know what his contract is,
It's
but
not bad.
it's not bad. But
$30 million a year.
He has a lot of money.
Well, but he's making a lot of money because he got a contract from Chicago, all guaranteed. That's why it's still getting paid. But like players now, he said that he's playing 28 minutes a game, averaging just shy of 19 points on 50% field goal shooting at the age of 35. If he was 25, he would get a max contract deal by any team in the NBA.
Easy.
He would get an $80 million 2-year, 80 or 90 million 3-year deal, hands down. And it's just the way sports are going. And Dwayne Wade, like, he realizes that, and that's why I like it. It's just like he knows that, like, it doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. Like, he's gone out and talked about it, and it's. I would be a big fan of just humongous budget cuts. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, if the NFL, for example, or the MLB, if they just said, hey, we're going to cut everybody's cap space in half. Okay, we're cutting all the NFL caps in half. If you get a player, say a big-name guy, like Jarvis Landry was one this season, was becoming a free agent. Okay, Jarvis Landry wants $90 million. Well, teams don't have that anymore. The most he's going to get is $40 million. So he has to choose. Does he want to make $40 million, or does he not want to play football anymore?
No, give everybody a $5 million salary and raise them up like you do at a regular job. Everybody will play the same. I don't care if it's Zach or Zeke or. And what's Zach making? What, $800,000, and he's gone to 2 playoffs.
But this is the thing, it doesn't make any sense to me. Is like
$800,000 because he's on a fucking
tickets.
I understand.
Prices go down. Everything goes down when you pay them
$800,000,
less.
and he's a not Super Bowl, but he's a Cowboy fucking quarterback.
Yeah.
That just. Because he was a rookie, he's capped at $800,000 for what, another year?
Yeah, 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, see, they can never cut it because the players' union will never let it happen now.
Yeah.
Because if they cut the salary to anything lower than what it is, the teams are going to still make the same amount of money. So the owners are just going to make more money.
The thing is I would love for these. I would just love for all these athletes that go out like JD Martinez didn't ask for this astronomical amount of money, or all these players do. You know, like every wide receiver that comes out into free agency, Odell Beckham Jr. being the most recent one, I want to be the highest paid player in NFL history. Like,
and then I'm going to spend it all and live like Tyson in Hartford.
Right, and it's like, but like, my thing is like, and you know, like the 5 of us can say it because we're all out of shape assholes that just play sports for fun, but like we still play them.
So we should be getting max deals.
You're called tight ends.
Yeah. No, some of us are loose ends.
You're a shape.
But it's like we still play it even though we're exhausted and like we're hurting after because we're fat and heartburn because we drink too much beer, but we try to go run a mile in 6 minutes or walk a mile in 6 minutes.
We just move our arms fast.
I know my
but
I'm not running a 6-minute mile.
Like it'd be nice if they just kind of got like, you know, like one of those like cinematic flashbacks to like what was the first time JD Martinez picked up a bat and swung at a ball? Why did he do it? And then why did he keep doing it all throughout high school? I don't think any player has ever picked up a football, a basketball, baseball, picked up a hockey stick, whatever, and go, you know, I bet you I could make $200 million in 5 years on this.
Andrew Bynum said that.
And look where he is.
Out of the league with a lot of money.
Yeah, he didn't get paid. I'll give him that.
Yeah, but it's probably all gone.
Probably.
He's got a huge coke problem.
He sucks.
What's that? What's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it.
Sure, he shares.
But the thing is like, I'm pro Coke. Don't get me wrong. It's a
You have a Coke delivery driver. We're talking
exactly.
About
Yeah. No Pepsi, Coke.
Uber.
But
Uber Coke.
It's one of those things like, you know, like the more money you have, the more Coke you do. It's like you gotta budget yourself. You gotta put on. If you're doing it all day long, it's not fun anymore.
Are you trying to teach me how to do Coke?
I'm not trying to teach you how to do Coke.
I can write a book on it, bro.
You know what you need, like the
I'm not trying to teach you. I just want to be in the appendice of Coke book.
You know the old folks that have those pill containers Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Oh, today's Monday. It's Coke.
That's exactly what it is. You need to put them into little like Splenda packets that you stamp sealed, and it's like,
a lot of people
okay,
mix
here's
up their days. It could just get really, really bad.
Did I take Thursday or is today Friday?
You know, Sunday was fucking terrible. Let's do the whole week of Coke right now. But so,
I think it's too much money. It's too much money that they're getting.
It absolutely is.
It doesn't become fun anymore. And you got a dad bringing his kid in who's a weekend dad, and he wants to go do something, but his kid doesn't really understand the value of $1 yet.
Yeah.
And he's going broke, literally going broke to watch these games because these people just get paid outrageous money. And that's fine if they want to get paid outrageous money, but what they do with their money afterwards is they're 8 out of the 10 athletes, they come out broke. So now this kid is following this guy who's made $300 million. He's like, what did he do with his money, Mom? Well, he was making it rain, and he got Hennessy.
Yeah.
And they don't even buy houses; they rent them.
So you just
They don't even
explained
buy
Allen
cars; they
Iverson's
rent them.
career.
It's like, what are you
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
with your money?
this does sound a lot like Allen Iverson.
Well, my thing too
Michael
is,
Irvin, by the way. $20 whore and a fucking.
my thing too is like, and I can, like I always feel like weird saying this because I'm not that old, but like I can remember to like when I would go to Chicago in the summers with my dad to go see our family, and like we'd be there for 2 weeks, and we would go to 4 or 5 White Sox games. Like it was just a thing you could do.
Do you know why the yard goats are so successful?
Why?
Because they're affordable.
Yeah.
And they give you a show every game. Like you can get a hot dog there for $2. The highest price ticket is $13.
Yeah, and the thing too is the food. I mean, I don't think none of you guys have been, right?
I haven't been yet.
So I went to a game, and the food is phenomenal. They have more than hot dogs, though. They have like
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good
yeah.
food, and beer is affordable,
They have a
and all that
barbecue
stuff. Yeah, they got great stuff. But like when I was going to Chicago for 2 weeks in the summer with my dad to see the family, going to a White Sox game, we'd go to 4 or 5. Like it wasn't a big deal. Like it was just something. Oh, hey, let's go to a White Sox game tonight. Let's get the tickets. Now it's something. It's like you have to plan to make sure you're financially able to do.
Yeah.
Like even to go. Like when I went to Chicago, what was it? 3 years ago now? 3 years ago now?
Yeah.
I went to 3 games, and I sat in the outfield in the third row of the outfield, and the tickets were still $26. Backsplash 15 years ago when I was going with my dad, those tickets were like $8, $7 a person.
Meanwhile, when I went to Fenway with my dad last year, it was about $180 a ticket.
Yeah,
See, fuck me in the face with that. I'd rather just sit outside the fence and wait for a ball to come over.
that's one of those things. Like the only sport that I would be willing to pay the money to sit closer in.
You said wrestling and I'm leaving.
No, it's baseball. Is baseball, and it's only because like what we did. Like you have the ability. Like there was a guy we took J Mart there for congratulations, you have a kid present, and
Your penis.
Shout out to Cole.
but like so
Probably
we took him to
pooping
a
right
Pirates game because he hadn't been to PNC Park. He was supposed to go, but somebody at this table didn't follow through on a promise. And yeah,
I
Burger
made
King.
up
They also
for it.
called
I
me
made
as
up
they
for
were
it.
buying these tickets.
But
Fuck off.
like a person like 4 or 5 rows in front of us, a bat slipped out of someone's hand, and he caught the bat and he got to keep it.
Really?
And it's one of the things like it's cool. Like for baseball, you get the high pop-up fly balls and stuff like that. But like,
$190 bet. Thanks.
but like,
you can also get hit in the face with a foul ball.
yeah, but that's fun.
But then you could sue them.
No, you
You
can't.
can't.
No, you can't. But also, though, if you're sitting that
You
close,
will be able to
you're
soon.
always watching. Like, you're never going to take your eye off because of the
You're afraid to
opportunities.
sneeze.
Getting off track, but I can't stand the people that get hit and you go and watch the video and they're just boom.
You will be able to soon. I think within the
got
next
strong
5
arms.
years, I think there's going to be a optional rule for like down the line side nettings, especially after what happened for the Yankees. That girl got hit. I mean, I understand it's part of the game. Like you sign up, you buy these seats, like it's part of it. But at the same time, like these, like we talked about, these people are getting paid millions of dollars, and you rely on the fans' income for a large part of this, and so they want to make the experience as great as they can. Like some people bitch about not being able to see through the netting. Fuck off. It's literally like less than the 16th of an inch of twine.
Every kid's Little League game they've gone to and see their own kid.
Yeah,
They could see
you
them.
have-
They see through chain link
They're
fence.
fine.
What were you doing
Exactly.
that you got hit in the face with a ball?
And so it's one of those things. Like I
I
think
thought exactly.
I think what they're
Are
going
you
to do is
watching the game or are you
within the
staring
next
at the sky?
within the next 5 years, I think that they're going to make it a optional but finable rule to have the netting down the sides. I know some stadiums do it. Doesn't Citi Field do it?
They're talking about extending it.
So is Yankee Stadium. A lot of
So-
places are starting to extend
So,
it
but
now.
I think within the next 5 years, I think the MLB will be like, hey,
Hockey does it.
we want
Got that glass box.
we want to have the safety netting down the first and third base lines to the base bags, and then if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But if a fan gets hit and chooses to pursue or whatever, it's a fine on your team.
But essentially, hockey does it. The glass all the way around.
Well, hockey not too long ago actually
Put the
they did the precautionary. If you notice behind the goal all the way up to about, I think it's halfway up to
There's
the
a
blue
fence.
line.
There's a net.
There's the net, but the glass is actually about 6 to 8 inches higher.
Yeah.
And that's because, I mean, here's the thing.
Didn't a lady die? Didn't she?
Yeah,
get hit with a puck?
here's the thing. A baseball that gets like so. What didn't they calculate the speed off of Frazier's bat when he hit that girl? It was like what,
Yeah,
like
it
one,
was like
104,
104,
one whatever. So that's gonna hurt a lot. But a puck, I mean, you look at Zdeno Chara from the Bruins. He did the slap shot contest like 5 years ago, something like that.
Players, am I right?
No, he hit. I think it was like 108 on a slap shot.
Hit over that.
I would much rather get hit by a baseball right in the schnoz going 120 than a puck going 100 miles. Because a huck.
Send it.
A puck. A puck doesn't have rounded edges
Names on
like
the
a
tip of
baseball
my
does. And like, I mean, I've been hit in the cheek with because I used to play street hockey growing up, and I got hit with a puck that was going maybe 30 miles an hour, and it lacerated my cheek. Now add 70 miles an hour to it, and it's hard condensed rubber. If you watch a baseball in slow motion, when it leaves the bat, it absorbs.
It does.
It does move. It doesn't look like it. You know, when you get hit in the face, you don't feel it.
Because your face moves.
Kyle would know all about this.
But
Yeah, I broke my
the
nose.
baseball has give to it. A hockey puck doesn't have any give to it. It's just a solid piece of rubber that meets your face, and then your face breaks. I mean, Andrew Shaw, when he played against the Bruins, the Blackhawks and the Bruins played in the Stanley Cup, Andrew Shaw took a slap shot from Zdeno Chara in the cheekbone. It blew out his whole cheekbone, broke his nose, he lost 3 teeth, and he bruised his retina.
He played the rest of that game, didn't he?
No, he was removed from that game. The best part was though he donated the stitches to a charity for like the Chicago like organization type thing. Some fan out there, I'm a huge fan of all my teams. I'll do all kinds of shit. I'll buy autographed jerseys, pucks, and everything. Somebody paid $38,000 for his
What kind
stitches.
of maniac would pay for someone's stitches?
$38,000.
I knew I liked that.
I'm gonna
team
start
for a
selling
reason.
Ricky's panties for 5 seconds. She's gonna be famous with that. You can wear my wife's panties if you'd like.
Starting bid ad.
You know what's happening? Slowly, we're gonna start hearing Kendall refer to Rebecca like you refer to Ricky.
Ricky,
I can't wait.
I know.
It's gonna be so exciting.
I know.
Well, I can't do that. You know, her father's listening. You know?
Why do you think she's here?
Shout out iPhone 5.
iPhone 5.
Is that dad?
Well, and shout
I
out
think
to for the listeners. He created the intro. He's the harmonica on the intro.
Yeah.
The harmonica.
Yeah, that's him. He's the harmonica on the intro.
That's
So
right. We were talking the other day. He was in the band.
yeah, he just did a show last night.
Yep, in Thomaston. And,
Yep.
oh, my God, the name of the place.
You're gonna get texted very soon.
You should just say it. Just say it. You don't have to whisper.
Krabby Owls.
Krabby
Yes,
Owls.
I know Krabby Owls.
Krabby Owls.
Yeah, Rebecca, you don't.
I've
have to
had
be
a few
silent
nights there.
anymore.
This is live. This is the whole point of us, Peter giving this chat. We're live. We don't have to, pretend we're like in a church with recording now. No.
I've had a few nights there, Krabby Owls. It's pretty cool.
So I got another discussion thing I want to go by real quick, and then because I've noticed that the private stock has pretty much been consumed by me. Not that there's that much gone, but we're gonna do an around the horn. Yep, you got to take a shot of the private stock and then answer the question, and we'll discuss it after. J-Mart, you'll start. I'll finish.
Terrific.
I'll play anchor because I've already had 3 or 2, whatever.
Nothing like getting singed.
Even though,
Boo.
so we're talking NFL here. Even though the franchise tag has been signed, he still has the option to seek trades. Javaris Landry plays in blank next season.
Jarvis.
He plays in
Now,
Jarvis.
does Jeff
in
answer?
Jarvis?
Can any of us
You
answer?
said Javaris.
Oh, did I? Oh, no, it's the booze talking.
So where does he play next season, you said? I'm thinking Minnesota.
Okay. Souls, shot then answer. No, shot then answer. Minnesota, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
then answer.
I'm very excited to hear your reasonings.
Who'd you guys say Kirk was going to, by the way?
Minnesota. Oh, Kyle didn't make the face.
It's fucking awful. But
Kyle's been holding out on us this entire time. He's just a pro drinker. He just
Jarvis Landry plays in San Francisco next year.
Mock made the face.
That's gross. I think Landry goes to the Chicago Bears.
look at that.
He's staying in fucking Miami.
So why didn't you say that? Now you have to do a shot for second guessing yourself.
I'm not guessing.
No, you have to take a shot.
Well, that's probably what's going to happen.
Oh, really?
So it's
So
probably what's going to happen, but it's not what you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Because that makes a lot of fucking
It
sense.
fucking does.
No, it doesn't make any
does.
sense.
Why is your name tag vertical?
There's a lot of things
All right.
happened.
Red Baron, Mirror, Javaris Landry plays in...
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Yeah, I
Landry-
keep saying that.
Jarvis Landry plays in Miami next year.
All right.
He signs franchise tag. I see him just. They paid him this amount of money. Let's just play him out, and then we'll see what happens next year, the following year.
All right. I'll do a double shot here of all the Javarises.
Jadavion Clowney Landry.
I think there's one other option that he goes to.
Oh, he second-guessed himself.
Oh,
No,
boy.
I'm not second guessing. I'm not second guessing.
all right,
I think
all
he
right.
goes to the Bears, but I think there's one other team that's going to make a play
I
for
feel like
him.
I know who you're talking about.
Minnesota.
And Kyle's not going to like it.
It's Baltimore.
Baltimore Ravens.
See,
It's whatever.
Jarvis Landry plays for the New England Patriots.
Ah,
this year.
Oh,
Gross.
no. Well, they got
I
They
think
don't pay for
Edelman
receivers.
coming back.
I don't. Edelman's coming back, but I don't think they re-sign Amendola, and I don't think they have to. They do the franchise tag. They see if he's all about it. The Patriots don't need their first-round pick. I think they would be willing to trade away their first or second-round pick for Landry. Probably a second-round pick.
They don't have a second rounder.
Even their third-round pick is what Landry's kind of worth. Because he's young, he's not really that proven yet. I mean, he's a target machine and a red zone threat, but consistency is a big part of being a receiver.
I don't feel like Miami would trade him to New England.
Yeah, it's within the division.
I don't think that
The other
matters.
thing is, we don't know what's going to happen in New England in free agency. Gronk is still kind of a question mark.
Here's another
They
thing.
can get depleted very quickly.
Here's another thing, and I think it's interesting because until the new league starts, we can't start signing free agents and all that. Well, let's discuss. Then I'll get into my point because it kind of works with it. So, Jamar, I'm curious to hear Minnesota. Of all the teams I've seen Jarvis Landry ending up in, Minnesota was not one of them.
Yeah, that's a surpriser.
See, the reason I think Minnesota, I know it seems like a long shot, but here's a team that made an incredible run that no one would have ever expected. And then to go and lose after coming away with like a miracle win, they would have played the Super Bowl on their home field. I think they go out, really beef up this offense. I mean, think about it. They have, Thielen, Diggs,
Rudolph.
what's his name's coming back from the injury, the
Cook.
running back, Cook. I mean, that's a monster offense if they could get him. What's he signed for on the franchise tag?
It's about 12 to 14 in that range.
So it's good money.
But if they give
It's
Kirk
good
Cousins
money.
the money, they're not going to have the money to
Well,
get
that's what I
him.
mean. They have
But-
quarterbacks in-house already.
Well, I'm saying, but the option too
They're all
is
free agents.
They're all free agents.
They're all
right,
free
but they're all going to be less money than Kirk
Exactly.
Cousins.
That's what I'm
And the
saying.
argument too, which I think Jeff would get into, is not to cut you off, Jamar, but if you sign Jarvis Landry, now you have Landry, Diggs, Thielen, Rudolph, and Cook. You don't need an elite quarterback throwing the football.
Exactly. I mean,
you have the elite receivers.
Look how far they got with Keenum. You know, Bradford was good in like the
Here's
two
the thing,
quarters he
well,
played.
Bradford was playing well. He just got hurt.
which
I mean,
called.
he's made of glass, but with the exception of that one season with the Rams, Bradford realistically has played well in his seasons,
he's there.
but he's just made of glass.
It's funny you say that because even his former coach, Mike Zimmer, said that just he was saying, I don't know why he's going skiing with glass knees. I thought that was hilarious.
Mike Zimmer's kind of a
It's
dick.
definitely a long shot, but I think
The guy that
if
can't
they were to
see
add
anymore.
another offensive weapon, I mean, then we're talking like a top offense in the league.
My rebuttal is that last year we saw Minnesota was pretty balanced in both the run and the pass. I think if they bring in Landry just to get enough targets to their three guys, you're going to have to kind of steer away from the run.
I understand what you're saying, but I disagree. And the only reason I say that is because, yes, they will be having to throw more to satisfy the targets and keep the turmoil at bay for their three receivers, but they're also going to have a better running back throughout the course of the year. So they're going to have versus, all these backups that played key, the Latavius Murrays and the McKinnon and whatnot. They're going to have Cook, who is going to be able to be that workhorse and is going to be able to do a lot more with 20 carries a game than McKinnon and Murray were able to do with 12 apiece.
My thing is, I think they spend their money on offensive linemen
Yeah.
instead of another receiver. I think they're okay with what they have. And if they can bring in Kirk and fix the offensive line, they're a Super Bowl contender right off the bat.
Well, see, that's the thing I think with the Bears, too. A lot of people are talking about Landry going to the Bears, and I think now that Landry has signed his franchise tag, I don't think the Bears are going to be willing to pay that. Like, I think they'd be willing to pay the money for Landry if they were going to have him long-term, but they released Sitton, and I think that's number one on their mind is offensive line. And now it's like, because they got to be able to protect their young quarterback and give him the ability to throw the football. They're going to have Cam back, and they need to, they're going to draft receivers, and maybe they go out and sign, some receiver, maybe an Amendola or a Robinson or something like that. But they release Sitton, and if they don't make some sort of free agency splash signing, then the sit and release makes no sense. So, why the 49ers?
They just paid Garoppolo,
Yep.
A lot.
and now it's time to give him some weapons.
But
He played so good.
It's
My
time
arg-
to
this is-
arm Garoppolo.
may I give you my argument? I understand. I know what you're saying, and it's a you're giving Garoppolo a somewhat proven weapon. I'm only saying somewhat because he's been very good in his time in the league, but he's still young. There's plenty of time to fuck that up. But to me, Garoppolo learned from the greatest quarterback in NFL history at making something from nothing in terms of personnel. And Garoppolo did just that for the San Francisco 49ers. He was undefeated, right? In his time as in his starts as a 49er.
6-0, right?
Yeah, he's
undefeated in
undefeated as a
general.
starter. He was undefeated at his time in the 49ers, and he made his receivers became waiver wire pickups in terms of fantasy. Now, I know that's not the best stat to go off of, but you got to think, in order to be a waiver wire pickup in terms nationally in terms of
productive.
fantasy, you got to be productive. I mean, no one's going to pick you up if you're scoring a touchdown and getting 20 yards on one reception. I mean, if you're getting one reception for a 20-yard touchdown, that's only 9 points. Like that's not worth the waiver wire. So you got to be producing, which means you got to be putting up the stats, which means you're helping your team. I don't think the 49ers think that they need to go out and spend that kind of money on somebody because they can just draft them and Garoppolo's going to work with them. I think Garoppolo has a lot of Brady in him. And honestly, I think if Garoppolo can stay healthy throughout his career, I think we're getting ready to enter the era of another 13-year span of Brady. It's going to be Garoppolo is just going to be a new form of Brady.
I just feel like Shanahan really wants a number one for Garoppolo. Because
He's got one.
He spoke
His name is
to
Pierre Garcon.
Shanahan about a week ago.
I don't think Pierre Garcon's a number one.
He can't be for that team.
No, I feel like
Marquise
on the
Goodwin,
topic of
nothing.
Pierre Garcon, I don't think he gets enough credit when he's healthy.
Pierre Garcon can be a number one for that team for the same reason Larry Fitzgerald could be a number one for any team. Because what he doesn't have in speed anymore, he makes up for in elite route running.
Yeah.
It does, for me,
He's a possession receiver.
yes, I understand. Pierre Garcon can't run, just like Larry Fitzgerald, can't really run that streak route anymore. He can't run the fade route. He can't do those long-distance routes. But Larry Fitzgerald, much like Pierre Garcon, and you saw Pierre Garcon have that success this season, is if you're going to have Fitzgerald go up, even if Fitzgerald is playing against a top-tier corner, name any corner in the league. What's his face there from the Ravens there? What's his name?
Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith. Even if it was against Jimmy Smith, one of the better corners in the NFL. If Fitzgerald's going to run up and do a 15-yard in route, Fitzgerald is going to have that cut. Pierre Garcon as well. That cut is going to be so precise to go inside on the field that he is going to create 3 to 4 yards of space right there. And the thing is Garoppolo has the ability to hit the receiver at that spot. So I don't think they need that type of person. So I don't think the 49ers are going to be willing to spend that money. I think you're right. I think Shanahan is desperate to get a number one for Garoppolo, but I think he's patient enough to do it through the draft and through the process of building up his own team.
He's already gave up a second-round pick.
Yeah.
And I believe that he's willing to give up a third or a fourth for Landry to bring someone in to help him out.
See, I think it's tough, too. I mean, Landry would probably be a nice fit there. But at the start of the new year, I think we're going to see bigger name receivers that get cut by teams that are going to be out there. I mean, the first one, I think Randall Cobb gets cut by the Packers.
If Devontae Adams can stay healthy, I think
If
so.
Adams stays there, Rodgers
Well-
ain't going to let Nelson go anywhere.
I think. I disagree. I think Nelson goes before Cobb goes, and the only reason I say that is because Cobb is the bigger deep ball threat. Nelson gets a lot of deep ball passes, but it's
Richard Rodgers too.
But Nelson is he's more one of those guys. Like, I've watched a lot of Packers games over my years, and a lot of Nelsons come from blown coverages and really good off the line movements, which doesn't always work against top tier corners and safeties. Cobb, on the other hand, Cobb just still has that raw speed. And so Cobb can blow you off the line without making that hesitation move or making that, 5 yards in, fake in and go out type of move. Cobb will just blow down the field and beat you. So,
Yeah.
Jeff, move.
you might have to get up.
Look at that.
That's the lazy man right there.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's a cool sign on the back of that door, though.
Yeah. They were ready for us. They know what's coming
But
on.
the thing is about Green Bay,
What's that?
I don't think they cut anybody.
I do.
Not a single
Not
player?
this season. But I think I think maybe after the next season. So my prediction, we'll do this obviously when it gets closer to football season. But I don't think, and the Red Baron Muir and I were talking about it with Aaron Rodgers. I kind of agree with what he said last night. I think the Green Bay Packers' reign of terror is over in the NFC North. I think the Green Bay Packers are now the team that's going to be very much in contention / fighting for the wild card spot.
Yeah, I think the window's shut.
It's just the defense isn't there anymore, and the run game isn't there, and the receivers really are not there. They have Adams, but it's like Cobb and Nelson get hurt a lot, and I just
with Rodgers having a full year back, I think they'll be a lot better.
But even
I think
Rodgers,
they'll be better, but in my opinion, I think the Packers missed the playoffs this year with Rodgers playing all 16 games. I think he stays healthy, and I think they miss the playoffs. Even if it's by a game, I think they miss the playoffs.
And I think Cobb could be the one that gets cut because you could
so.
always put Montgomery back at wide receiver and start Jamal Williams or the other fucking guy I don't remember.
But you got to keep in mind
Aaron Jones.
Now, like Aaron Rodgers is looking for an extension. He's gonna command big money. They got to sign guys for the defense. They got to shore up the offensive line. One of those receivers is gonna have to take a hit.
Well, that's my argument for Nelson, is because Nelson demands more money than Cobb does.
Yeah, that's true.
Nelson has more, in terms of the Packers organization, has proven more than Cobb has. And on top of that, Nelson, in my opinion, his injuries have been a little bit more substantial. So he's a little bit more, he's just a little bit more expendable. And I think with Cobb, what they're going to be doing with Adams is, over the past few years, we've seen Adams kind of become this deep ball threat kind of guy, but last year he became a possession eater. He became a Jarvis Landry type of guy. And so I think that we're going to see a lot more of Adams becoming that Jordy Nelson kind of guy.
Brett Hundley can't really throw the ball.
But I understand that, but it doesn't matter. 1 year, you learn a lot about a receiver. So Adams had to mold to Brett Hundley.
Look at that, Souls.
And Adams proved that he could turn into that possession type of receiver, that Brandon Marshall type receiver, the guy who can run any route and get the ball. And that's what Nelson was. Cobb was really the deep ball threat, the slants, the less impressive Odell Beckham Jr. kind of guy. I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. runs the routes, but he's essentially a lot of Odell Beckham Jr.'s touchdowns come on slants and big deep balls. And that's what Randall Cobb is. But Nelson is the possession receiver. So Adams would also be a possession receiver. You don't really need the two possession receivers. You want the one possession and the one speed, in my opinion.
What do you got over there, Reed, huh?
What do I got?
Yeah, what do you got? You're looking over here.
We're live. Just say
start
it.
Something.
Well, I'm trying to make some signals. I was saying, let's take a quick break. We'll come back in, 10 minutes?
10-ish?
Yeah, but we're not done with this conversation.
Well, we can pick it back up.
No, that's stupid. We got 5 minutes of conversation.
Well, I just figured we'd...
Nope, we're arguing. We're overthrowing you. Let's finish the conversation. We got 5 minutes and we'll take a break.
What
are you pointing at me for?
I want to take a 10-minute
I want
break.
to hear what you have to say about the Bears real quick.
The Bears, I mean, they
Say
need that number one offensive weapon. It seems every year their number one gets hurt. Kevin White's done it for, 2-3 years now.
Never the number one.
But, I mean, he's always super hyped, and then he gets hurt. Cam Meredith came into last season, thought he was going to be great, got hurt. I think Landry can come in and be like that security blanket receiver for Mitch to kind of grow and become a better quarterback.
And Matt Nagy wants Trubisky to have his
Kyle
his own
also
receiver.
talked to Matt Nagy last week.
The Bears have a great run game. I think Landry will come in and just balance it all out. The defense is young and up, and I think he'll make the Bears maybe not a playoff team, but at least possibly close to a wild card contender.
All right. The Patriots for me is really more of a stir-up thing, but I can see it. That's the thing. Is I can see it. Brady's getting older. He doesn't have any sort of scramble ability really anymore. And Amendola's a free agent. It really relies on whether or not they're going to re-sign Amendola, which doesn't seem like they're going to do, because they haven't yet, right? Type of thing. Yeah. So I don't think they're going to do that. They have the draft picks, but they're never the team that goes out and signs a receiver, in the first round or second round, third round type of thing. So I could just see him doing it to give Brady a reliable option of a receiver that runs a lot of routes that gets him 9 to 10 catches a game, so that Brady doesn't have to be sitting back in the pocket that long. Red Baron, you You said the Dolphins.
I said the Dolphins. I just feel as though they paid him the money. They're going to try to get as much as they can out of him. And then, like, hey, let's play for now, and then we'll deal with it in 2019.
So it's funny you say that. We'll take the break after this, and we can talk. We'll visit this option later in the show. I think the Dolphins only do everything they can to keep Landry if they can sign Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah, if they sign Kirk, they're going to want Landry there.
I understand that, right. But they've given him the option to view trades. But I think it's a very under-the-radar thing. People have not listed, but Tannehill has sucked. Kirk Cousins to the Dolphins?
Kyle's a big Tannehill
We'll talk.
fan.
Not really.
We'll talk more.
Oh.
Shut up. We'll talk more about Kirk to the Dolphins when we come back. Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and everybody else is still here.
We're all still here.
What's Gucci?
Shut up,
All right,
Souls.
so Souls. No, hold on. Before you do that, Souls, we're confirmed with the Red Baron here, but we're Facebook Live.
We're Facebook Live on PPRN right now.
On PPRN, if you don't follow PPRN, do it because you're an asshole. But if you're on the Getting Sports with Drunk Facebook page, I believe Maxine Washable will be sharing that, if not already, so you can check us out there as well. So we've talked about it a long time. Souls said Gucci, which warrants a private stock shop. But we've talked about it
That
on.
would be a double shot.
We've talked
That's
about
a
it.
bad one.
Yeah, we've talked about it on
I'm over
air
here.
for a long time. We've talked about Souls' just ridiculous face when he takes the private stock
It's
shots.
a meme face.
And now we're here
Meme
to
face.
now we're here to see it, and that's actually good. We'll make a meme out of you. We'll do it. We'll make a meme out of you
Surprised it
yet.
hasn't happened yet.
It will. So, I don't know which camera's looking at you. I think this one can see you.
That's probably our best.
Everybody,
bet right
everybody,
there.
say hi to Facebook Live.
Hi, Facebook Live.
Oh,
Afternoon.
this one right here.
Souls, take your private stock and show the world what they've been missing.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't get it close, but you could tell the way he ducked his head down that.
You might be able
Still
to see
making
too.
the face right now.
You might be able to see too our fearless leader, PPRN leader, Peter, down at the end over there. He's here to make sure Kendall doesn't set the board on fire.
Again.
Oh, it's a flame. It's a flame.
But so we ended off before the break. We were talking about Kirk Cousins' potential Miami landing spot.
Jarvis.
Do you think there's any potential for that to happen at all?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I think he can go to the Bears. Is that what you're asking me?
No, Miami.
Oh, Miami? No.
Send it over. Send it
I didn't hear
over.
what you said.
Why would the
Just so
Bears-
the Facebook viewers
First of all,
know, Maxine makes a
doesn't
good
make
face
sense of
too.
Why Kirk Cousins would go to the Bears?
I didn't hear what he said.
I
I was
don't-
trying to figure
either
this
one.
out.
Well, hold on, wait. So that's double shot then,
No.
because you said that you think Kirk Cousins could go to the Bears.
You know what we need? Mark, we need you on this side of the microphone.
What?
Because Mickey's blocking your face.
Take the mouse off the mic.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, my God.
My nephews love that guy.
That guy's a crook, and you know it.
Oh God, that
Shout
face.
out to my nephews.
See, we'd have to move the camera a little bit.
We got it. Don't worry about it. But Red Baron, what do you think? Do you think the Miami Dolphins are a possible landing spot for Kirk Cousins?
Absolutely. Because the thing is, Kirk has no idea where he wants to play. He just wants to play football. Does he want the money? Perhaps, but he's already made an insane amount of money in
50 million
Franchise
in 2
tags.
years.
2 years.
I'm telling you, if he wants to get paid, he's probably going to
So,
the Jets.
I mean, I don't think anybody's above the Browns. He might be above the Browns. But I think he's
Not if it's about money. If it's about money, the
It's
Browns and the Jets are where he'll go.
I think if it's
Either
about
one
money,
of-
he's going to New York.
But the thing is, like, if he wants to go and play in Miami, if they give him a deal, I mean, it's anything is on the table for him. It's
They're
really
going
type
to
of-
keep going with Tannehill. I don't know why they do, but
So
they do.
My thing is we'll know. I mean, it's kind of a cop-out answer, but we'll know when the actual new league starts. When the new league year kicks off, if Landry has not been traded or there are not serious talks about him being traded, I think it's possible, because now you're putting Cousins in a spot with actual receivers, or with.
Are you saying like preseason or like OTAs?
I'm talking about the actual league's
Okay.
season start, which is in I think 2 weeks.
Okay.
March 11th.
Yeah, not even 2 weeks.
Okay.
Then. Like, if there's, I think it's potential. I think if that becomes so, if there's no actual headway being made about Landry going elsewhere, I think at that point, because the final four right now, I think for Kirk Cousins are Minnesota, Denver, Cleveland, and the Jets. I think if
What about
Landry,
Arizona?
Yeah, he just released it. It was Arizona,
Arizona.
Minnesota, Denver, and the Jets. Those were his final 4.
Okay, so I think if
Not
Landry has
Minnesota?
No,
I
no.
I think if Landry has no actual headway of going anywhere by March 11th, I think he cuts Arizona off that list and Miami can be added to that list.
And my thing is, the Jets offered him a lot of guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And I can see him taking it because it's just what he's going to do. If you offered like $60 million guaranteed, you're probably going to go.
See, it's one of those things. I agree with you, but at the same, I think he's torn because he's the ability. I mean, at the end of the day, no one's going to turn down the money to do what you love. If someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, you can sit on the couch and scratch your balls for $100,000 a day," you bet your ass I'm going to scratch them raw. But
With Brillo.
I think with Brillo, yeah,
No, is that guaranteed
Brillo
money?
and Graves,
Is that guaranteed money? Or...
60,000's guaranteed every day.
Oh, yeah, sign me up.
But with Kirk Cousins, I think too.
100 grit.
I think a lot of it is I think people are tired of him talking about him not being an elite quarterback or not being like in the top 10% of quarterbacks, top 10 quarterback in the league, whatever statistical category you want to go off of. I think he's tired of people talking about that way because he hasn't really, other than Deshaun Jackson, his tenure in Washington, he hasn't really had anybody to throw the football to.
Yeah, Pierre Garcon.
This to me is going to be his ultimate prove it because he's going to choose where he wants to go. He's kind of making his own destiny, and if he fails wherever he goes, then he's not the elite quarterback he thinks he is. But if he goes there and balls out, then he proved his point.
I think if Kirk Cousins goes, because I think Minnesota has playoff potential regardless of who they signed. If he goes to Denver, I think he can cement his legacy as the top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
I agree.
And I mean, yes, I get it. He has the receivers. He'll have Sanders and Demaryius Thomas.
But he has no O-line.
But if you,
That's one thing.
But if you go back and you look, I mean, realistically, no receiver or no quarterback has been considered a great quarterback in NFL history without some sort of elite receiver around them. I mean, even Brady. I mean, Brady has had Gronk, which is always
He's had
good.
Moss,
He's had
too.
Randy
And he had Moss for a while, who set the
Brady's never been in a situation where he hasn't had at least one elite player.
right. I mean, and then Peyton Manning had Harrison for all those years,
And Reggie Wayne after.
and then Reggie Wayne after, and then he went straight
Austin
to Demaryius
Collie.
Thomas, and then he went then he went straight to Demaryius Thomas. I mean, you look at these quarterbacks that are. I mean, the only quarterback you can make the argument for is Drew Brees, and I don't consider that. I don't buy into the argument thing. I think it's more of a crime that Marquise Colson was never given a Pro Bowl because Drew Brees.
100% agree.
Because until this year, Drew Brees was never had a Pro Bowl quarterback, right? Because didn't Michael Thomas made the Pro Bowl, right? Or cornerback or receiver? Fuck.
yeah.
Nah, that's what I
Yeah,
said.
it's all the booze. You guys aren't drinking enough.
No, he didn't.
Michael Thomas made the Pro Bowl, though, right?
Michael Thomas did.
So this is the first.
Who
Keep
do
in
you
mind.
have in San
Listen,
Diego?
for all the listeners, for those of you who
Vincent
may
Jackson?
not follow football as much as you follow the other sports,
I don't even
keep
know.
that in mind.
Cardell,
Drew Brees is a
maybe.
household name in terms of quarterbacks.
Oh, absolutely.
He has never had a Pro Bowl wide receiver until 2017.
Now, which is amazing. But to his credit, Drew Brees does perhaps better than anyone else to
Spreading
spread
the
the
ball.
ball around. So perhaps
Third string tight ends.
I understand what you're saying, but
Fullback, anything.
I get that. But in my opinion, in terms of, call it a joke if you will, Pro Bowl, whatever, the biggest crime in Pro Bowl history, in my opinion, is Marquise Colson not getting a Pro Bowl bid once in his career.
no, that's fair.
Well, he threw that
And that's
great
on you,
pass
America.
in that playoff game that one time.
We had Jimmy Graham. It's not the same, but you know what I'm saying.
We do shots for personal shots here, sir.
It was a great pass.
Personal shot, take the shot, do it. That's gone by the end of the show, guys.
A singe.
So we'll move on. We'll go. I know Souls is itching to get to two certain discussions. He's got a baseball one picked out in his head that he wants to talk about.
I don't.
Say it.
Yes, you do.
Well, I kind of do.
But let's talk. We'll talk one NBA, then we'll go to the
Ryan
MLB.
Howard's gonna have a comeback year.
Who?
So let's talk about this.
He's done.
Moving forward, we're going to kind of do. We're
sorry for the
not
cough.
100% confident in what our format will be, but we're thinking, a little bit of current events in the beginning, personal discussion at the end, kind of thing, about sports, not about Mock's penis.
Penis.
It's nice.
Penis. It is nice and gray.
That's Kyle, and we all know it.
Tan.
Kyle's just tan. It's not gray.
It's very tan.
Kyle's looks like somebody who goes to the tanning booth every week. Yours looks like a piece of meatloaf that's been sticking out for 3 weeks.
So there's a chat room in PPRNradio.net, and someone's been trying to talk to it. I just showed Kendall where.
Yeah. So, and this is something we should really consider using in the future.
Grandma Wakey.
Grandma Wakey.
What you got?
First thing we got hey, and then first of all, Kyle is always right about sports trivia, which is pretty funny.
Who
Must
we
be
talking about
Stoshball.
this? Who is this?
We don't know. It just
don't know.
Have their
We don't know.
It's your biggest fan.
But yeah, you can interact with the boys. Go to PPRNradio.net.
Yeah.
There's a chat room at the bottom.
So we actually have a question pitched to us. How about the coaching situation of the Giants? So that's an interesting topic.
Maksheen, lead it off.
Well, I mean,
As the only Giants fan at the table, the only sorry person.
I think they're in a better shape now than they were with McAdoo. McAdoo was just kind of like a...
You could have no coach and you'll be in a better shape.
Yeah, McAdoo was just kind of clueless. He looked good in his first season.
No, he looked good because of his mustache.
But, I mean, the second year, I think he tried to do too much that he just wasn't ready for. He was trying to control everything. He was way too predictable. I remember when we watched the Giants-Eagles game at your house, and we predicted almost every play.
Yeah.
It was just...
I think we determined that his play calling was too predictable.
horrible.
You gotta take some chances.
Personally, I think they should have went defensive-minded coach.
I disagree.
Because you have all the offensive weapons basically that
Yeah,
you need
but
to
their
come back.
defense is good. Their
defense
defense was
was
never
good.
in question at all.
And I thought Spagnuolo was going to stay. That was a shock that they got rid of him. But to me, he was a great coordinator. They didn't need someone to come in and lead their defense. They needed someone to come in and rewrite their offense and get it back on track.
They
You need
need
to tell
to
Eli
get
Apple
the
to stop
chemi-
being a bitch.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
kind of what
agree
I
with
was
you,
going to say,
Kyle.
but I was going to say get the chemistry back in
Yeah.
the locker room.
Because right now they're all over the place. You got Jenkins suspended. You got Cromartie
But
suspended. you got
that
They'll
was all
figure that out,
McAdoo.
though. That's all in-house.
That was McAdoo.
That's something that a good head coach can sort out.
I think Pat Shermer's going to come in. He's going to rewrite the offense. He'll make it much more balanced and hopefully be able to help Eli out a little bit without getting hit as much. Hopefully Odell can come
you need
back
a running
healthy.
back for that.
We do need a running back. But it also came down to the offensive line.
We're going to do two things here that we've never done before. We're going to have a female on the show.
And work out.
And she's going to do something. And she's got to do a shot. So Rita, if you listen to PPRN, this is the GSWD Ricky. Her tits might not be as big, but she's the GSWD Ricky.
So Rita / Rebecca, she
Say
handles.
Hi.
She handles all our production work. She handles. She made our intro and outro. She does our editing of shows prior to this.
So
Her
us going
iPhone
live-
5 is her father.
Yep.
Us going
So
live.
if you
we
want to see a
sure
picture of her, go to Kendall Reed,
No, xvids.com.
redtube.com.
This is a sports show.
Look at Teacher
Drinking
Cat.
show.
So we're gonna
Uh-oh.
Teacher Kitty 69 is her.
in our previous setup, we were very limited. We had a very small board. We had the five mics. We weren't able to do a whole lot outside of us. Now we're blessed to have Peter's PPRN studio. We can start having guests on, which we're gonna have our first ever Getting Sports with Drunk guest in 2 weeks, which is very exciting. But
It's Odell Beckham.
I also want to
Rita?
say is your guys'
Brown's
first
kid.
show has hit double digits for live listeners. So that's for an internet radio station. It's really, really good.
Thank you for the support.
Thank you.
Really
yeah,
good.
very
I'll try to do a
appreciative.
better job next week.
Yeah. Honestly, it's on you that we're not at triple digits. If it was just Kyle on the mic, we'd be at 6 figs.
Well, Kyle-
Everybody's at church.
We got to beat Eddie.
And the place
We're
the place
taking
where we're
it.
recording from, there's a plethora of churches.
Everybody's at Chick-fil-A waiting for it to open.
Come on, please be Monday.
So
We have all
Rita,
gay listeners at Chick-fil-A right now.
Rita, give the world some private stock. Come on,
Okay.
you got this. This is
She's not on camera. We could.
well, it doesn't matter. They know the face she's
Who's
gonna
going to
make.
drive us home?
Kyle.
Kyle doesn't even have his license.
Hey,
Bitch. Why would you even say that? They didn't know that.
You're almost 45, damn it.
That was a personal attack, too.
You can't call a
That's
teacher a
double
bitch.
shot because he had to do one.
Yeah, but she
call
has to drive us
I don't
home.
fucking care.
Hey,
I gotta go to work.
Hey,
you think I
hey,
give a
hey.
shit?
All right.
All right,
Hey,
calm down.
Also,
Do your
it's
private
Sweaty
stuff.
unbuttoned his jersey.
You can't call a teacher a bitch.
I can do whatever I want.
Come on, do your private stock.
All right.
Let's go. And then iPhone 5, Rita's father,
Yeah,
longtime
how'd that
Giants fan, and Rebecca herself a longtime Giants fan.
Kind of.
I'd like. Well, she's been a longtime Giants fan.
Always.
I'd like to hear what she has to say about the coaching situation.
Do you know who he is?
They suck.
No. Not about who the coach is. Just what she thinks. Let's just say about the team itself. What does she think the team needs going forward?
All I know is that last year was horrible, and I hate Ben McAdoo, and I don't know because
But he had a great mustache. We can't take that away from him.
I'll give him that.
he did have a good mustache.
Thank you. Thank you.
She struggles to talk. You shouldn't interrupt her.
This is true. No, I just hope better things happen. You know, the Super Bowl is going to be my birthday next year, so they have to win it again on my birthday.
No
so
chance.
Why are you saying that?
Well, last time they won the Super Bowl on her birthday, they beat the undefeated Patriots.
That's true.
That was the best Super
Yeah, but
Bowl
you can't
ever.
be like,
Yeah, you
know,
cried.
I did.
What a bitch.
Yeah, you a
whatever.
bitch. I didn't cry.
I
when
cried
Steelers
when the
came back
Saints
and beat
won.
the Cardinals.
Here's the thing.
Wait,
I
nobody heard he's going to work with booze on his breath?
He
does
works at
that
fast
anyway.
food.
You can't smell it through the drive-thru.
I'm going to report you.
I'm pretty sure that
I want to
everybody
go
who's-
there. Which
You
one
better
do you
give me
work
free
at?
food.
Wallingford. So
Better hope they're not listening.
yeah, right.
Shout
This
out
is.
Jeff Cullen.
I'll take my shot. I'll take my shot 'cause this is a personal attack at Maxine Washable. So I'll do this.
All right.
And we got any
I-
history?
Don't think it's ever acceptable unless it's your franchise's first major championship win as a fan to cry when they win.
You don't think it's acceptable?
I don't. I think the only time it's acceptable is when, like, I think it would have been acceptable if Maxine cried when Derek Jeter retired.
I cried.
Okay.
Not
Almost
even
did a little bit.
I think it would have been. I think I think it would be. I think it would have been acceptable when Jeff cried when the Saints won the Super Bowl.
Really gay.
When they, I think it would have been acceptable when Peter cried when Ricky stuck a finger in his ass.
I didn't cry.
I know
Some
somebody.
joy.
Is that another
Don't tell me
personal
you've
attack?
never done it, dude. Whatever. It happens.
The left side of the table is a lot more adventurous than the right side of the table.
Is
Someone's
that
a
right,
homophobe
Mark?
over here.
But
It was a girl, so don't worry.
I don't know. Like for me, like for the Bears, if they won the Super, like granted, I wasn't alive when they won the Super Bowl in '85. But if they won the Super Bowl, I wouldn't cry. Even if they beat, even if they were the same type of thing. Because the Giants were the 6 seed, 5 seed. They were a wild card team.
They were a wild card team.
Even if the Bears were a wild card team and beat the undefeated whoever, I wouldn't cry. I did cry when Brian Urlacher retired. I teared up.
Bald.
Not anymore.
I cried at that movie Wonder last week.
Yeah, we were talking
That's
about
a
that.
really good book.
It's a really good movie too. Anyways,
Yeah, you don't have to. A movie's over in 90 minutes. A book fucking takes forever.
who reads?
Read.
No, it's pronounced Horads. You ever watch SNL Jeopardy? It's Horads.
I don't read.
So, the Giants, yeah, I mean, the defense, but it's funny you say that because I understand the defense was on the field more this season and that the offense wasn't getting it done a lot due to injury. But the defense, put that aside, the defense did not look like the Giants defense didn't look like the Giants
They didn't.
defenses should be. So,
The
it's gonna be-
chemistry wasn't there.
it's going to be very interesting moving forward how much say the head coach has in the Giants' defense versus just the offense.
That's why I think Shermer's gonna. He brought in his own coordinator, and I think he's gonna say, "Listen, take care of it."
Because I think, in my opinion, I think Landon Collins is going to be a great player, but I think he's going to be a player that suffers from games like 3 to 4 game streaks of ups and downs.
You have 10 iPhone 5s listening. They must have shared. I don't know.
Every iPhone 5 in Connecticut is listening right now.
Unfortunately, they're listening to the first 5 minutes of the podcast right now because it hasn't gotten through. We're radio show.
They're still
We're a
trying to
radio show now.
connect.
I can't believe there's a fucking.
That's just it.
iPhone 5s.
All you guys remember that now. When you talk to people,
Grandma was chatting.
Oh, they're on a family plan.
An older
Yeah.
generation.
when you guys talk to people now, make sure you don't sell us short. We're a radio show.
Yeah, you're not a podcast no more.
I said we're no longer a podcast.
We're big boys now. We got some hair on our balls.
Yes.
So
That's if Kendall knows how to
Above the
upload it
ball.
later.
Yeah, he does.
Listen, I know what to do. This is the big stage.
Okay.
I learned on a straight
I just
board.
want to be able to come back on Tuesday and make sure everything's still here.
The board's coming home with me. I'm gonna like, oh, what's wrong? There's some batteries
You
in here.
forgetting to lock stuff and turning it off.
No, not you don't have to worry about me locking the doors.
You
Don't
do.
worry.
You
I'm
do
gonna,
have
I'm gonna
to
check
worry.
it 5 times before we go.
Okay.
We'll have Jeff lock it. You know he'll do it.
Yeah.
Kendall's
Me
bad
too.
at things.
You know who won't?
Me.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have a key.
So let's.
Just make sure he unplugs that from the
This
wall.
isn't sports related, but this is always an interesting topic for me. I get a lot of shit because I always lock the door when I go in the house. People always try to come in and the door is always locked. JMart's the same way.
That's because you live in
It's-
Walmart.
Why it worked good.
That's
Well, it's
because you
just-
live
it's one of those
in
things.
Wallingford, man.
JMar and I, like, my house growing up, we always had to lock the door JMart's house always had to lock the door. Kyle, on the other hand, Kyle is in a house where even when nobody's home, for weeks on end, the door is unlocked.
What's his address?
His address
You
is
can go there.
no, but
There's nothing there.
like there's
lot
times where like I've gone to Kyle's house, and he hasn't gotten home yet from wherever he is. And I've been able to just park my car, go up, nobody's home, and just walk in the front door and just sit on their couch.
Oh, I do that. I live in West Haven. I do that if I know if I'm coming back within an hour. But I mean,
No. They do it when they go on vacation
listen,
for a week.
if you're gonna break in, I don't want you. Listen, they're gonna break in regardless.
Yeah, don't break the
Don't
door.
break the
just come
door.
on
What
in.
the fuck? I gotta sleep later. You can have whatever's in there. Just don't break the door. That's basically what it is.
I also live in Prospect. No one's out there.
Oh, you live in Prospect.
We're getting close to the address.
There's only
All
8
those
houses
damn
in
kids at
Prospect.
Watch Hill for the
The
weekend.
only time black people or Spanish people are in Prospect is when they're driving through or they're working.
Exactly.
So Prospect's really Wallingford Jr.
Junior.
So that's where we stand on the Giants thing, I guess. But definitely keep commenting. We like this. The discussion is always
So,
wanted.
were you guys able to kind of identify who Grammy Walker was?
Aunt Walker.
Yeah,
My aunt.
your aunt.
Is it his aunt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She answered.
Well, no. Hold on. Let me rephrase.
We're using your inferencing skills.
Assuming she's
she
still
answer?
listening. Assuming she's still listening right now. She's not Kyle's aunt. She's everybody's aunt.
It's not.
Everybody.
She didn't answer?
Anybody
She
who
didn't
knows her,
answer.
she's Aunt Walker. That's just how it goes.
me
She's
see if it's
everybody's
working.
aunt.
She's your aunt now, Pete.
Oh, all right.
Let me tell you something. If you ever get the luxury of meeting her, she is going to question you
She hot?
until you're unquestionable.
She's my aunt.
She's hot.
What does that mean?
That's his aunt.
Beautiful.
It will be like an interrogation. She does
my
it to
age?
She
everybody.
will scare you,
Is she my age?
but then
too?
she will take care of you.
The first time I ever met her,
How old are you?
the first time I ever met her, she asked me questions that I wouldn't even have been asked on like an insurance exam, medical insurance exam.
What is that rash? Why is it pussing?
Show me your ball. No. So
Do you want tea?
Yeah.
Bags?
So let's get into another debate for Hot Topic. This is the J Mart inspired debate.
He's not going to the Sixers.
Where's LeBron playing next season? We've seen the billboards. We've seen people.
I want to hear Kendall
max
first.
contracts, everything. Fuck Kendall. I want to hear Maxine Washables first.
Here's the Pelicans. I slap you in the face.
Maxine
It's
Wash-
not going to be the Pelicans.
Maxine Washables is our NBA insider, and I want to hear what he has to say.
Realistically, I think the Lakers. I think he goes out to LA.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Okay? Do you think he goes there with Paul George? Now that they have Isaiah Thomas,
Yes.
because Isaiah Thomas is signed for how many years? He's going to be there next year, right? That's determined. So it would be Isaiah Thomas, Lonzo Ball. Because assuming next season Isaiah Thomas is going to be the one,
Well,
and
he-
Lonzo
isn't
would be
he a
the two,
free
right?
agent?
So we're
I think Lonzo stays the one. Isaiah comes off the bench.
you think so?
He's been coming off
Yeah.
the bench.
Isn't
right, but I
Isaiah
understand
a
that.
free
But he's also is still relatively new. So
I just think he'll come off the bench no matter what.
You think he's a bench guy all the way?
I think he's a six man for the rest.
You think he's kind of like that Ben Gordon type of role, the guy who comes
He's
off the
gonna be like
bench.
Jordan Clarkson was to the Lakers.
But you think so? He's going to be that off the bench, but somewhat starting minutes.
Yeah.
Kind of just fills in for the 1-2 all the time. Okay, that's fair. So but do you think Paul George also still goes there?
No.
Because that was the whole spiel. Was that Paul George? He went to Oklahoma, but he's still going to the Lakers next
He's
year.
happy in Oklahoma. He's happy to play with Russell.
Right, but do you think
I
Melo's
think
in
it's
Oklahoma?
Wholeheartedly,
I don't think Melo stays.
it's wholeheartedly dependent on this season. If Oklahoma can make a push, if they could beat Golden State and Houston, which I don't know if they can.
They can
honestly.
beat. I think Oklahoma can beat Golden State. I don't think they can beat Houston. And the reason for that is I think Oklahoma has enough ability to play defense against Golden State, but I don't think they can outscore.
The moment they get to their bench, they're fucked.
It's not even that.
No,
Like, I understand what you're saying,
They
but
have no depth. That's true.
They have
The
they have
only
the
team-
4 starters, and everybody else is a crapshoot.
the only team in the West that because Houston has made a living off of we're just going to outscore you, and they do it and they do it well.
But they've added depth throughout the season.
Right.
They're a very deep team.
But they're still defensively minded though. They're not that great. They're okay, but they're not great.
They have a good
pieces.
defensive center. That's really
They have a
Right.
rim protector. They got guys like Trevor Ariza.
But let's let's move that a step further. I know we're moving a little bit from the debate, but let's take it a step further. They have a great rim protector, but now you got to think Houston's going to be going up against a team. Essentially, the Western Conference Finals will be Houston, Golden State. So you got your best defensive player is a rim protector going up against a team that doesn't play inside offense.
Sounds like a rim job.
So
That's a different kind of defense.
LeBron to Houston.
Who needs
makes a lot
life
of
alert,
sense.
boy?
LeBron and Houston definitely makes sense.
You can
'cause
put him
that-
at the 4 or 3 and move Ariza to the 3 or 4.
But I'm talking about. Okay, I know we're talking about LeBron. That's why I say we're moving away from it. This season, I'm talking
He's
about.
going to the Knicks.
This season, This
Yeah, he
season,
is.
we're talking
With
you know,
Melo.
Yeah, he
Houston,
is.
Houston, Golden State is more likely going to be the Western Conference matchup. So
I can see Golden State if
that's not the question, Connor.
Yeah.
That's a real funny way to pronounce the Pelicans.
So what I'm saying is, you and J-Mart both just said Houston's best defensive player is the rim protector
yeah.
versus a Golden State team whose offense very rarely comes in by the rim unless it's a dunk.
Even Houston too. They
So
rely heavily on the.
does that really matter at that point? Houston at that point is just going. They have to outscore Golden State.
Yeah.
Because defensively it doesn't matter. James Harden is not going to guard Klay Thompson.
It's going to be like a 150 to 148 game every time.
So that's what I'm saying. Is like
I don't think
so
they get past Golden State.
I think Oklahoma has the defense to beat Golden State, but I don't think they have the offense to outscore Houston.
So
That's my argument.
I agree. If Oklahoma can get,
Assuming we see a 1, 2, 3, 4 seed
if they
in
can
the
play the
semifinals.
Warriors, yeah.
Right, if we see a 1, 2, 3, 4 seed in the semifinals, if Houston can be first, say it goes Houston, Golden State, San Antonio, Oklahoma.
It's not how it is anymore.
But I'm saying say that's how it finishes. Is what I'm saying. So Houston, Houston, Golden State, Oklahoma, San Antonio. Houston can beat San Antonio, no doubt in my mind. They can sweep them if they really needed to. Oklahoma can beat Golden State. I do not think Oklahoma has the offense to beat Houston.
Agreed.
I just don't see Oklahoma being either one.
I could totally see it.
I can see Oklahoma beating Golden State in 7
Russell
games.
Does not need a rest. I swear to God, that guy can play a whole game.
If Oklahoma
without
plays
coming
Golden State in the NBA playoffs, any round, NBA, regardless of the round, first, finals, doesn't matter. Russell Westbrook will average 46 to 47 minutes a game. Paul George will average over 40 minutes a game, and Melo will average on the plus side of 35. And I think they'll take Golden State in 6.
Don't forget about Adams too, man. That guy's.
I understand that, but I'm saying, I think they'll take Golden State in 6. I do. I honestly do.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, they're not a deep team, but their starters, if they're on their game, I think they beat Golden State. I wouldn't bet on them, but I definitely think they have the chance. I mean, bias aside, let's take Melo. That dude could score on any defender. It doesn't matter. And he's not their primary scorer. They have their weapons just like Golden State does. I give Golden State a big edge defensively with like Klay Thompson on the perimeter. But heart-wise, there's no one with more heart and passion than Westbrook. And he could take over a game.
All right, fuckers. I want to say, sorry to interrupt you,
It's all good.
but I pay the bills. I'm not that.
This is our program director. You know?
We supplement it in beer.
I'm Keith. No, congratulations, guys. You guys did double digits. I'm very proud to have you on there. I'm glad I pushed somebody to keep going. And
Oh, yeah, we were coming.
Kendall's like
The 4 of us were ready to go live. Kendall was just like
Oh
nervous.
my God.
he is, but he's got a lot of responsibility too. So you guys should be proud of him too. And you get something. Watch what he does, and you guys will be fine. To have double digits on your first show is amazing. To have, I don't want to say the number because everyone's like, oh no, double digits is. The amount of people that are listening took the time out to listen to you, so that says something for what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
No one listens to radio anyways, but to listen to internet radio is a big achievement, so I'm very proud to have you guys on here. So
Thank you.
We're excited to be here.
I'm glad. So be careful, have a good show, and more good things to come. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Shut up, 5. Stay black.
That's the PPRN sign-off. We love it.
I don't know. To me, I don't see Oklahoma City beating any one of those teams.
So, all right. Here's the deal. LeBron is going to
Well, yeah, so say,
Houston.
Let's move away from the final because we got plenty of NBA talk to come in the future. So, Reed, Red Baron, meow. You think Houston is the landing spot of LeBron?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Souls, what do you think?
76.
I am going to say Philadelphia.
Billboards.
They were taking billboards out.
Nothing to do with that.
Real quick, before we do this,
Can I?
I've got a little bit left of this Bourbon County. Now, I'm not giving it to either of the two people sitting across from me, which is Maksheen and Souls.
Nice.
That's okay.
But J-Mart and the Red Baron appreciate the stout, and I'd like them to have a sip before I finish it. Wait till the end. We've never done this before. We do the beer reviews. I want them to give their beer. Keep your thoughts in your head. I want them to give a beer review, double beer review at the end.
All right.
So, Souls, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. I'll do my shot for it, because I don't got to drive.
I think Philadelphia is
No.
the landing spot.
No
Say what
chance
you
in
want.
hell. Let me explain it, though.
Okay,
Seriously.
but you have an opinion. I have mine.
No. Seriously, let me explain my opinion.
Explain my opinion.
Go ahead.
You go
sir.
first.
Oh, no. I
You
don't want
interrupt
to.
me,
You're
so
getting
you
really
go.
angry. So.
They're taking
Souls,
their
just
shirts
fucking
off.
talk.
You said the Lakers.
Okay.
Why do you say the Lakers?
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying there's no way in hell he's going to Philly.
Why?
Why? Because you have a player that can be the next LeBron James. He's a playmaker. Ben Simmons, he's a playmaker. He can drive. LeBron wasn't a three-point threat until, the latter half of his career. He made his living off driving the lane and dishing. Defensively, same thing. Ben Simmons is a plus defender, and he's only going to get better. He's what, 20? Turning 20? So for me to have LeBron with Simmons, it doesn't make sense because you have two guys that do the exact same thing. In a way, I'm complimenting you by saying LeBron shouldn't go there. I seriously think Ben Simmons is the next LeBron.
Okay.
I'll say that right now.
And I'll give you my rebuttal.
All right. Let's hear it.
LeBron
It's like
James.
two lawyers talking. And after you.
I object.
He's 32, turning 33.
Okay.
My feeling is he doesn't want to be the guy that has to do everything anymore. So, okay.
See, I disagree. LeBron,
If he stays in Cleveland,
it's
it's going to be a rough path for him for the rest of his career.
That's why they just went young. They're not going to.
Okay. If he goes to Philadelphia, he doesn't have to be the guy. He has.
He's the king.
Oh, hear me out.
He wants to be the guy.
He's
He
gonna
is the
fall off
guy
eventually.
until he retires.
He's going to fall off.
He's showing no signs of falling
okay,
off.
but once it does, it's going to happen quickly. He's been in the league for 14 years already.
And he's still putting up MVP
But like
numbers.
I said, it's going to happen quickly.
But
At
it's
age
not
34
happening.
or 35.
He's getting
he
better
can contend for a
statistically.
championship with the younger team.
They haven't made the playoffs yet.
They will be.
They will this year.
And I personally believe they can beat any one of those Eastern Conference teams.
But they can't beat the West.
Doesn't matter. If that team makes it to the final, you don't think that's going to be, hey, LeBron, come here. We made it to the finals. With you here, we can win.
I'm not saying it's not a possibility. I'm just saying I seriously
I
don't
don't
think
think he
goes
wants to go to L.A. He doesn't want to deal with the LeVar Ball. He doesn't want to deal with the bullshit that's going on there. He doesn't like playing with Isaiah. He doesn't.
How do you know that he doesn't
He already
like playing?
said it. When he left.
As a starter, he's coming off the bench. They
not,
have
he still has to
Lonzo
play
Ball,
with
who's
him.
a great
Isaiah
playmaker.
Thomas is a very stubborn guy and wants to shoot the ball. With
Because
LeBron, you
he's
can't
a shooter
do that.
and he's coming off the
And
bench
obviously,
now. It's totally
he didn't
different.
work with him.
It's totally
he did
different.
not work with
It's
him.
Totally different.
That's why the
situation.
Cavs sucked ass with
Different
him.
team. It's not the Cavs. We're talking about the Lakers.
Okay. What makes you think that LeBron to the Lakers is going to be much better?
Why? They have a young core, same as Philadelphia.
What's
but
core
more
better?
Of a chance.
If you were a LeBron, where would you want to go?
To the team where I'm the man.
He could be the man in Philadelphia.
You just said he's not going to be.
That's not what I
And
said. I said at the end of his career, which could happen in 3 to 4 years.
It's not happening in 3 or 4 years.
So at 36, he's not going to.
No shot.
Okay.
His work ethic is unmatched. He's in better shape than guys 19, 20
So
coming into the
18
league.
years in the league, you're not going to slow down.
No.
Okay.
He's shown zero sign at 33.
Okay.
Not even a slight regression.
Okay. But once it happens, he's going to fall quick.
We'll see. You're saying that LeBron James is going to fall quick.
If
You're going
once
out
he
on
gets
record
older,
and
yeah.
saying that.
When he turns 36, 37.
But
he's
that's still 4 years from now.
Okay. So why not be
But
able
that's
to win a
not quick.
championship now?
First off, another thing. You get LeBron James. You're not paying Ben, Joel, any of the other young guys.
Joel's
Sarge,
already being paid.
You're not paying all of them.
Joel's
If you
already on
get-
contract for the next
if
4 or 5
you get
years.
LeBron, you are not. They're going to opt
Yeah, they
out.
will. First of all,
They're
every
going
team
to
in the NBA
opt
has
out.
an insane amount of money. That's why the Nets went out
I
and
don't
paid
want you to
$50
have a
million.
heart attack, all right? It's just an opinion.
It's why the Nets went out and paid Timothy Mozgov $50 million.
All right,
But
you're going off to
But do you
Mozgov.
think?
What
So you
are
think that
doing?
you think the Sixers are going to be able to pay? So they've got Embiid already in contract. So they're paying Embiid.
Yeah.
So they're going to be able to pay Embiid,
Fultz,
then give Simmons a new
Simmons.
contract, Fultz,
Sarge.
Sarge, and LeBron.
They can.
So then you're
the
just
NBA
going to.
has a lot of money.
no
But
chance.
then you're just going to be the
These
new
are
Thunder.
all
You're going to have no
max deals.
bench.
See, the Sixers can. What they did this year, they're gonna have a lot of guys that don't have a lot of money. But McConnell's only making $1 million to $2 million.
But McConnell's earning
You know,
himself
you-
more
exactly,
than that this
you're
year.
not helping this.
But
But McConnell's playing better. McConnell, that's the problem. Is like I understand what you're saying. McConnell right now is not making that much money, but McConnell's earning himself a $4 or $5 million contract, which the Sixers are not going to be able to pay if they have Sarge, Fultz, Simmons,
one of them is gonna
Embiid,
have
and
to
LeBron.
leave.
More than one of them.
Sarge will probably leave. And
I'm
Fultz,
just,
you don't know what he's
I'm
going to
just
be
saying,
at.
you don't want two
You don't know if
guys
Fultz has his
that
shot
have
yet.
the same exact game playing. You're going to have Ben Simmons and LeBron doing the same exact thing, competing for the ball. They're two playmakers. It doesn't work.
For me,
it doesn't
I
work.
think
And
LeBron.
Ben gives up the ball more than anybody else.
And so does LeBron.
So they're not gonna have any problem passing to each other.
Timeout. I think LeBron's going to start thinking post NBA. Figure, like you said, Kyle, if he has 4 years left, if he goes out to LA, that's where he can start now, almost like what Brandon Marshall's doing with the Giants. He's already thinking post NFL. He has business connections in New York. I think LeBron starts thinking post NBA, set up shop in LA, and prepare for when he's done playing.
It's funny that you say Brandon Marshall, because I actually made this bold prediction the other day at work. I think Brandon Marshall plays this year for the Giants. I mean, I think for his last year, I think he gets traded to the Bears. I think he plays his last year as a Bear. Anyway, continue.
But I think LeBron, he's not getting any younger. He's still playing great every year. I mean, he's an MVP candidate every single season. But I think he's starting to realize, you know what, I'm getting older. I'm not going to be able to play forever. If I go out to LA, I can keep playing and start building a business brand for when I'm done.
So where's it go?
I think the Lakers.
Okay. J-Mart, you also think the Lakers?
100%.
All right, so what do you guys, why the Lakers? I mean, you kind of made your point right there with the post-production or post-NBA type of thing. But, J-Mart, why the Lakers?
For the same reason as the Sixers, I understand they have young talent. But with the Sixers, like I'm saying, you have Ben Simmons, who is the guy. You put LeBron in the mix, you're going to either hinder Ben Simmons and his development, or you're going to take stuff away from LeBron. LeBron goes to the Lakers. Okay, you have Lonzo Ball, defense and pass first. LeBron, playmaker, clutch time scorer, defender. Then you throw in Kuzma, you throw in all these low budget guys, and I think he has a real chance.
I understand what Souls is saying. Like, it would be very exciting to see, but
yes, but
the Sixers have. I agree with Jeff that I don't think LeBron will go to the Sixers, only because the Sixers have made such a profile for themselves about becoming a young team that is going to build themselves up, and now they have the team that they built. They built this team, and it's here. And I think that it's. I understand what you're saying.
And to max out
Simmons
a 30
and LeBron,
plus guy after rebuilding?
Simmons and LeBron, like I agree. I do think the ball movement would be fantastic. I think people would score very well. I mean, I think Embiid, Simmons, Fultz, and LeBron all have the ability to average 20 points a game on that team together. But I think it hinders the team. You already have such a strong ego in Joel Embiid.
His face.
And like I get what you're saying. Like I understand.
Well,
what
another
you're saying.
thing is, you got to think about his family too. If he wants to win and be close, I believe he would want to keep his family in Cleveland.
So then he wouldn't leave Cleveland. We are forgetting that completely. It's entirely dependent on if Cleveland could turn it around and be the team.
I personally think the roster they traded for is for the future.
Yeah.
Without LeBron,
it was a safe move, but who knows? Maybe they pull it together. They've only been playing together for what, maybe a month.
Not even 5-6 games.
And look, I'm not going to dismiss the Sixers. We've seen LeBron go to a super team before. That certainly would be a super team.
And my thing is, like, if you want to win now,
you go to the Knicks.
No, if you want to win now, right, and still be
Westchester
close
Knicks.
to home.
Actually, it's funny too that the Knicks, in the most recent power rankings of LeBron's free agency landings, not counting Cleveland, they did like a 31 through 1. They've been doing it every week. The Knicks have been in the top 7 every single time for the past month that they've done it. Because he might not win a championship, but LeBron has the potential to mold that team into a championship team. And honestly,
too bad Frank tried to fight him.
I don't think he will go into coaching, but I don't think anybody at this table can argue that he doesn't have the potential to be a great coach.
Yeah. And it's funny because usually the big names aren't good coaches. Usually it's the guys like Luke Walton.
Look at Mike Singletary for the 49ers. He was fucking terrible.
Yeah. But LeBron especially, I'm curious to see, how old's his son, 16, 17? Somewhere around there?
I think he's younger than that.
15, 14?
Yeah.
15. I'm going to go 15.
Well, because that was the thing. They were saying, I forget what the Isaiah Thomas trade, like the pick they got potentially could be for LeBron's son.
With Wade, too, it's crazy.
Well, because, Shaq's son just signed, which is irrelevant.
It's college.
But, he's going to UCLA. He could potentially be a first-round pick next year.
Yeah, but did you see the picture with Shaq, though?
Yeah, the video, you mean?
The tag. See the tag? Shaq took a picture holding up his son, like like that wedding kind of pose, like the over the threshold pose. He's holding up his son, and his wife's in the foreground of the photo. But if you look, someone circled it and made the meme about it. Shaq's got the tag on the hat, and it says "just in case." ... But
Good.
So back to the 76ers thing. I understand why LeBron would be a good fit in Philadelphia, and I think he would. I think it would be a really good opportunity for that team to win a championship in the very near future. However, I do agree with Jeff more, and that is just that I think LeBron being there would not hinder Ben Simmons' ability and growth. I just think it would put a slight pause on it.
Well, Ben Simmons is a point guard.
He's not a point guard, Kyle.
Well, that's what he plays.
But he's not a point guard.
Forward that brings the ball up, and
he's not.
So is LeBron.
That's what he is. He's a LeBron. He's a James Harden. He is a point.
He doesn't shoot.
But
that's because he
But
can't.
that's just it, though. But I mean,
So
look
you
at
get another
but
shooter,
look at some
another
of,
star.
All right, but can we make an? I'm just gonna throw 3 names out there right now. You tell me if these 3 aren't arguably the top 10 greatest point guards of all time. Chris Paul, John Stockton, Jason Kidd. Arguably 3 of the top 10 greatest point guards of all time, right?
Yep.
Okay. None of them are known shooters. Jason Kidd and Chris Paul could shoot the 3. They can. But they're not known shooters. They're playmakers, they're rebounders, and they're defensive-minded players. And Ben Simmons is not that. That's what he is. He's a defensive-minded, non-perimeter scorer. He is a James Harden, LeBron James type of player. He's a guy who brings the ball up, so he has the illusion of being a point guard, but he's not a point guard. I understand he slots into the point guard spot, but he's not a point guard. He's not. Ben Simmons is exactly LeBron, and I agree with Jeff in that. He is a all-inclusive 3/4. He's a Michael Jordan.
I'll say forever.
He's a man who could play any position and play it well.
LeBron coming up had not no 3-ball, but he didn't have the 3-ball yesterday.
And let's not even talk about his free throw.
That's what Ben Simmons is going to do. He's only 20. He's going to develop a 3-point shot, and then when he does, he is LeBron James to me. It's as easy as that.
Real quick, since we only got about 10 minutes left, Peter messaged me, and for the Facebook Live people, we're wearing jerseys. Now, yeah, it's a little cliche. We're a sports show wearing jerseys, but we're not doing this every show. Obviously, we don't have enough jerseys to do that.
What do you mean?
But people want to know.
It's an encompassment of our favorite teams.
Right, but people want to know why we picked the jerseys that we did. I thought it would be a cool conversation before we did beer
Kinda
review.
cap-
Let's wrap up LeBron, and we'll go into that for the close.
Kyle, I don't want to fight with you, man.
Come on, fight.
The thing is,
It's
I
Kyle
agree.
wants to argue with you so bad, but you're saying Ben Simmons is good, so he doesn't know what to do.
I agree with Jeff. I think
I'm just
LeBron.
stating facts.
I think LeBron puts a pause on Ben Simmons' progress because they're too similar of a player. Now, there's nothing wrong with averaging 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 20 points a game. That is great. But Ben Simmons has the ability to be 28, 9, and 8. He has that ability. And LeBron being there, he won't have that. Now, Kendall said Houston. Maxine Washable and J-Mart have said the Lakers. Kyle, you said Philadelphia.
You said Dallas.
No. You know who I'm going to say?
The Brooklyn Nets.
We've talked about a specific player leaving, but other players staying. I think LeBron James vacates the 4 position and commits to the 3 in Oklahoma. I think it's Russell Westbrook. Oklahoma has the cap space to offer him a max contract if
Shout
they
out
don't.
Rob Hennigan.
If Melo's gone, if Melo does not play in Oklahoma next year,
Back to the Knicks.
I think I could see them LeBron being a 3-4 and Paul George being a 2-3 and Westbrook, George, LeBron.
So you think neither of them go to the Lakers?
No. I think that's the Oklahoma Big 3 next year. I think that's what
something.
it is. I do.
I'd love to see Westbrook and LeBron. That'd be
I
an
think they
incredible
don't
team.
sign Melo, and it's one of those things that like Westbrook and Melo are established players. So for either of them to give up the ball and sacrifice points on any given night is no big deal for them. But for Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Sarge, Fultz, these are players that even though they've proven not Fultz, but even though they've proven they can score, they still have growth. They still need to mold into the NBA player they're going to be for the rest of their lives. And with LeBron there, that's going to put that on pause for a little bit.
Just the way Kyrie handled it, too. Like, LeBron, if you're playing with LeBron, you take backseat to LeBron. Ben Simmons doesn't need to take backseat to LeBron.
I
Westbrook
think
has
he's more willing to than
But
Right,
he
but
doesn't need
I
to.
understand that,
think
but he
could
doesn't-
put
but
up better numbers than LeBron.
I think Ben Simmons would be willing to,
Sort of.
but I don't think the Philadelphia 76ers organization would be willing to let any of their young stars take a backseat to LeBron. Whereas the organization for the Oklahoma City Thunder might be more willing to.
Exactly.
They've already had Westbrook take a lesser role in bringing in Melo and George. They don't re-sign Melo, and they bring LeBron in. They compete with that super team because the Lakers are already showing signs of becoming a better team. Golden State's a super team. Houston's a super team. Once San Antonio can kind of finally fully get healthy, we know what San Antonio's capable of, especially if Popovich is coaching.
And I just don't see you building on youth the way you have in a successful way and then just maxing out a superstar that's, you said it yourself, aging.
In my
It just
opinion,
doesn't make
in my
sense.
opinion, all the aging superstars I think the 76ers sign are bench players and role players.
And that's good. They mentor the young
JJ
guys.
Redick
It's
is a
been
perfect
working.
example of that. JJ Redick is I know he missed that shot against Miami. We watched that game. Kyle was so pissed through the phone. But
He was wide open. Just saying.
yeah, he
Should've
was.
never missed that.
Yeah, that's like literally like Kyle Korver missing a wide
he
open
had
three.
his feet set, squared up, and just missed it. But it's alright. It happens.
So anyway, that's what we think about LeBron.
Only time will tell.
We got time.
know what's
We're
gonna
probably all going to be fucking wrong.
all
He's
of
going
us.
to Washington.
He's going to the Clippers.
Milwaukee.
Oh.
Oh, him and Giannis?
No,
would suck.
Giannis. How do you say it, Kendall?
Oh, Giannis Antler combo? You can check that
I
spelling
miss
anywhere.
when Kendall used to commentate.
So we got a few minutes left, so we got to go to our beer reviews and shout outs and all that stuff. So I like we got our jerseys, where they come from. Now, obviously, all of us are. J-Mart's a little bit of exception. Player-wise, no. Team, yes. But all of us are wearing childhood/teenhood favorites of our own. So we'll go around the room. Let's pick the jersey and why you did it. Souls, lead us off.
So you stand up real quick. Just stand up just for the camera.
Show your back to the TV.
Button that shit up. Button it up.
There we go. No, I was with him when he bought that jersey.
And the best part was you were pointing to your deltoids.
He hasn't taken that
Deltoids?
jersey off since he purchased it.
Deltoids?
So
Well, he might be deltoid.
At
Are these
Dollar
your-
Tree.
wait, are these your deltoids? Your
Something
shoulder?
like that.
It's your shoulder or your deltoid?
I don't know.
No,
What's
it's your
it-
hamstring.
Oh, all right.
I didn't take anatomy.
Go ahead, Kyle.
So I picked this jersey because my first love is
Why are you
baseball.
looking at me?
Because you pissed me off. My first love is baseball, and the Phillies are my favorite team, obviously. And right now, if I had to pick a favorite player, my favorite player would be Aaron Nola. I'm more grown to the pitcher position, and then that's why I always pick pitchers as my favorite players.
Location pictures.
For the most part.
For those of you who don't know Souls, he pitched in high school, or not high school, but he pitched in
through high school,
Little
technically.
League and seniors and juniors or whatever the fuck it's called. I didn't play baseball really growing up. But he pitched at college level, Division III Albertus Magnus, look him up.
Had
Kyle
a 0
Souls.
ERA for a while.
But
Then
Kyle Souls,
Give
you know,
up a
and
run,
it happens.
we,
It happens.
we've played a lot of wiffle ball with him. Kyle Souls is 100% location,
He's
0%
Jamie- he's Jamie
velocity.
Moyer.
Now,
He's
real
crafty.
quick, me and Kyle are friends because of how he pitches. Hit a couple of home runs off the guy, and here we are.
You have 13 runs, still got the W. That's all that matters.
It's like a Chris Sale day. Chris Sale with run support.
It was either I gave up a lot of runs or I gave up like one hit.
All right.
So, machine washable.
I am wearing my Aaron Judge
Well, show the camera.
jersey. Oh, God.
Get up.
Oh, God, I can't stand up.
99. Manny Ramirez.
Ramirez.
I gotta tell you,
No.
I hate that they don't have the names on their jerseys.
I do, too, but I also like,
I get it. They're like one of the only teams
Yeah.
that does
The
it. in
name
all
on the
sports,
front
but-
of the jersey that matters. Am I
Yeah,
right?
fuck that
Again.
bullshit.
but I was gonna wear.
I could notice them more if they had beards.
I was gonna wear my Derek Jeter jersey, but that one was very expensive, and I figured I would spill something on myself at some point.
It's accurate.
So I went with the cheaper jersey that I got from China.
All right. Red Baron. Meow.
I have Heinz Ward. I'll spin around for. Can't spin around.
But it's Heinz Ward, nonetheless.
Heinz Ward. I'll stand up. You see 86. Can't even do that. I'm too tall for this. But number one receiver currently, historically the best receiver the Steelers have ever had. Heinz Ward currently.
No, he's not current.
If
I
I can,
understand what you're saying, but you're saying it wrong. No,
What I'm saying is-
take the private stock. Don't put it to the side. Fucking drink it.
if I can
Show the
interrupt-
camera.
If I can interrupt real quick in the Facebook Live video, a Paul Krish asked one of us to take the jersey off and said yuck. I don't know who he means, but he also said he misses the Rockettes.
We'll talk about
I have a feeling it's
Connecticut
me.
more.
I don't know.
So
Hopefully he responds soon.
J-Mart, you're next. Now, here's the thing. The reason I say it is because the Phillies rivals of the Mets, but it's a little more unlikely. New York, big rival of the Red Sox. We're in New England. Our show's based in New England.
It's your jersey.
So but I have a huge disdain of people that hate this jersey because of Bruins fans. So it's questionable. But J-Mart, you've got an interesting jersey on.
I do. Favorite basketball player ever, Carmelo Anthony. On and off the court, great guy.
Great play for the Thunder.
Great guy, great Thunder. It hurts me to say it because I'm a diehard Knicks fan, which really has its downs, not so much ups at all.
I'll say this though, and I think J-Mart can agree. As great as he was with the Knicks, he was a different player with the Knicks than he was with the Nuggets.
Yeah.
And so when J-Mart and I would watch Knicks games together, and we've watched a lot of them, whenever we would see Melo yam, like he did as a Nugget,
It was exciting.
it was like watching a 50-year-old dunk. It was just like watching Melo go to the rack and slam it down with two hands.
Lala got him a little. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah,
Little
let's
weak
not
kneed.
go into that. So Melo, your favorite player? Got the college jersey, Syracuse,
Oh yeah,
orange, which it kind of works. Knicks jersey,
and Oklahoma's got a little orange in there.
yeah, and you got the Knicks hat. Player rep. I have no problem with that. No problem with that. I wouldn't be that upset if someone bought me a Charles Tillman Panthers jersey.
If I can also, I have an update. He was referring to Kendall's jersey. He asked him to take it off.
Is he a hater of the Steelers?
It could be a sexual thing too. I'd watch out.
It
on
could
this
very
guy.
well be. I mean, I look at myself in the camera. I mean, I could see what he's looking at.
Riddler, your jersey?
I got Chicago Blackhawks, Jonathan Tays jersey on. Stadium series actually. When they played outdoors.
Exclusive.
Yep, with the stars somewhere on here. I don't know. Jonathan Tays is he's been my favorite Blackhawk. I mean, I've watched the Blackhawks for a long time. For those of people who are listening, I was a fan of the Blackhawks when they were losing. Before the Tays and
Me
Kane.
too.
Before the Tays. Shut up.
They've been losing.
Before the Tays and Kane era started, when attendance was abysmal and the team was terrible, I was watching then. The group here knows it. Born in Chicago, born and raised, grew up there a lot.
Me too. No.
Grew up there, did a lot of summers there. So I'm Chicago everything. So it's not a bandwagon thing. I was a
Jeff's
fan.
all over the place.
Yeah.
I was a fan long before they were winning Stanley Cups, and so and we talked about it earlier. A losing season, if winning 3 Stanley Cups means you're gonna have a losing season every 8 years, fuck it, I'll take it. Good draft pick.
There we go.
But that's Jonathan Tays. He's just my favorite player. I'm a big fan of players that really exemplify themselves on and off the field. Players that are really big leaders. Brian Urlacher, yes, he was the captain. It's kind of that type of thing. It's that captain-y role. The guy who might not be the biggest stat leader of all time in franchise or NFL history or NBA or NHL, MLB, whatever. But I'm a big fan. Always usually the captain, the guy who's the big off-the-field
Big dog.
off-the-field leader, the guy who really leads the team, Jonathan Tays, Brian Urlacher, Paul Konerko, that type of thing. That's why I picked him.
I like it.
Yeah. Beer reviews.
Bum, bum,
But
bum.
before the beer reviews, we got a couple of minutes, right? Yep. So shout-outs real quick. Shout-out to Peter Pinot at the PPRN Radio Network for getting us started live. Big shout-out to him. We're really happy to be here.
Oh yeah.
To everyone listening, thank you.
Live
14
was a goal just 40-something shows ago that didn't seem that real, and now we're here.
Here we are.
And we're very excited. Thank you to all the listeners, all double digits of you. We're really
it's a
really
big deal.
excited. We're really excited to see that number grow and give you guys what you want. Please keep shouting us out and commenting on the Facebook chat.
Let us know what you want to hear.
We want to talk about what you guys want to talk about.
Once I get a better,
Don't hurt.
Yeah,
No,
all
shut
right.
up.
Anyway, dude.
Shut
Okay,
up.
moving on.
Listen, we
It's
gotta
the first show. Shut up.
I know. I'm saying, hey,
Fire.
But thank you to
gonna be
all.
good.
Thank you to all of our listeners from the beginning that listened to us when we were just a shitty little podcast and a bonus
Whoa,
room inside
a
the.
shitty little podcast.
Sorry, sounding wise.
Within the past year, we started in the kitchen with one microphone.
Started from the kitchen, more microphone, and now we're live in less than a year. And,
Sounds like a Drake song. I don't like
and
it.
we thank all of them. Make sure you listen to all of the PPRN Network live shows, including the Latin soundtrack with Eddie Transcendent. Great show. Make sure you listen to all that stuff. Beer reviews real quick. Let's get to them because we're out of time.
I love Guinness.
That's J Mart's. No, give us a better beer review.
It's fantastic. I could drink Guinness.
Give us the flavor
day of the week.
profile. What do you got?
No,
It's
I mean,
shit.
with Guinness, you don't really have
Jesus.
to.
Milk? Is it milk?
It's like an Irish
it's
Jesus.
all of my Ireland deep down in me. It's the red in my beard is tingling right
I
now.
love it.
Kyle, what'd you think of the Modelo?
Souls, you've been dying to try the Modelo.
It was aight. That's all I got for
It
it.
was I.
Nothing great about it.
For me, the Sea Hag is like my go-to IPA. Big fan. Keep it going.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Woot Stout.
And the Wood Star hits home close to Kendall. His family, big Star Trek aficionados.
Star Wars is
and
better.
it is, no, it's not. It is partially brewed by Will Wheaton, a member of the original Star Trek cast.
Wesley Crusher.
Will Wheaton.
Oh, sorry, Star Trek Next Generation.
Will Wheaton.
I will show you the bottle up close. Very cool. I'm big into artwork. I'm like the hipster of beer bottle. I don't even care if it's good. If the bottle looks cool, I'll drink it.
Paul Krish like Sam Adams. Shout out to Paul.
Shout out to Paul Krish, Sam Adams. You can get that basically anywhere around here. But it's still good beer.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Paul Riddell is out on that.
No, I mean, everybody likes their own shit. That's the best thing with craft beer. There's so many of them now.
It's the best thing with beer.
I'm not a big Sam Adams fan personally. The Sam 76 they put out, the new 12 packs they're doing are great. But I was the person that went above and beyond for the show. The Bourbon County brand Northwood Stout. J Mart, Red Baron, Muir.
Yeah.
Give me your quick 6-second beer review on those. You guys both get a sip. Red Baron, lead it off.
Me first. All right. So I've had a couple of the Bourbon Counties in my day, and that was excellent. I haven't had anything like it. It was brewed with marzipan. I mean, I can't even. What does marzipan even taste like? I mean, it's amazing.
I was surprised at the sweetness, but it wasn't like a take you back sweetness. It was nice. It was a good touch.
Take your back sweetness.
Well, some things could be way too sweet.
I-
That
Yeah.
was just
I
like
feel
a
you.
really
I feel you.
nice accent. That's what I'll say.
Wow, you
'Cause,
selling
I mean,
furniture
I've
now?
loved the Bourbon County.
So
Give me the fucking cinch.
marzipan is essentially it's a confection brewed with like sugar, honey, and like almond type of thing. So the blueberry was so forward without the sweetness. You got the blueberry flavor without a lot of the sweetness. The marzipan was there, no almondy or anything like that, but it supplied that sweetness you weren't like dying from. Like it wasn't like over killing or anything like that. It was so good. And they did a really good job with this one. I'm not a big fan of like their super outlandish stuff that they do for the Bourbon Counties, like the sweet, simple stuff. But this was very good. Founders Lizards of Cause is probably the best thing that I can recommend to be similar to that. It was so good. I would recommend it to anybody if there's still a bottle laying around in the local package store. But we're out of time,
We're out of time.
so we can't talk about beer anymore. So from all of us here at Getting Sports with Drunk, I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mock.
Sheen Washable.
Nope.
I'm Soze.
I'm J-Mart.
And I'm the Red Baron.
Yeah.